Yo, 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 yo. Alright, daddy-os. Okay, daddy-os. Alright, we should be fine. Why does this keep... Let me see if I do something like... I'm actually not mad at that either, to be honest. Alright, let's do... We're getting straight into the build today. I'm gonna move the build. We could do a little fishy fish. Also, one more second. Yeah, I think that's good. That volume is fine. I have to put my whiteness toggle back on. No. Let's put this down a little bit. Alright. Can you please... Can we please get this to work? I wonder what's overlapping about it. Can you take this off? I'm going to do is this. Take this off, take that off. Yes. Alright. Let's knock this down a little bit more. Yo, what's good, Maya? How we feeling? Yo. My fish farm died again. I don't know what's going on, bro. Oh. Alright, we put anarchy on. Can you not break this time, please, bro? Like... It's really fucking with me, dude. Oh shit, how was the event? And I'm pretty chill. Work was slow today. I got to chill out for the most part. I can't really complain. I forgot my keys, wallet, my bag I usually carry with me at my sister's crib on Christmas, so I had to run back and go get that. And I would have got it yesterday, but it was hella late. The snow was happening. I was not trying to deal with none of that bullshit. Alright. But no, pretty chill nonetheless. It was lit. Let's go. We like that. A vibe is a vibe. Let's go. I am happy to hear that for you. Oh, that's actually a vibe. Alright, so I have to do this first. let's go. All right, and then what's this? Let's set this up here. Oh yeah, I know. So actually, this is when please don't crash. Do not, yo, thank you. This is technically this area over here. So I kind of, this is definitely like my Dumbo Tower, not Dumbo Towers, but those gigantic towers off the coast, like right before Domino Park. So that's that whole vibe. And I really just want this all to be warehouses and like brownstones with like fancy little mixed-use buildings there. And then we put a brewery out here because you know the vibes. I think I need like, I wish I could do some highline type of thing here. To get, I could technically do it. I don't know if I'm that good yet. But I have a dope ass idea. I just don't know if I can make it happen. But if, I think I can make it happen. I think I can. But yeah, so I'm just trying to go for like a warehouse open market vibe over here. Definitely using a bunch of like these old ass buildings. You know what they should have did? We got this Starlight Lay building in here, but that's more towards Hudson Yards, so I didn't want to use that. But that's also why we went with this vibe here. And then like little warehouses here. So yeah, that's the vibe we're gonna continue to go for. This was the building that inspired this. Because this is definitely Chelsea Market type of vibes here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I could though, honestly. You know what? Where are we at? You know what's crazy? I have to do, yeah. Nah, just inspired by. Trust me, now you got me wanting to jump into the Manhattan map. Alright. See, I wanted to keep all of that, bro. Alright, so if I... Alright, let's do this. But nah, we're just gonna continue being inspired by like the warehouse looks. Open lots, you know, that type of vibe. But I'm trying to, you know what's crazy? Actually, help me with this, Maya. I'm trying to figure out a game plan for 2026. I really want to do 2 standard YouTube videos. One of the Brooklyn series or the Manhattan series, right? Either or, like every 2 weeks, because those builds are like heavily detailed. I should have put inspired. You know what? Ooh, damn. I should have put inspired. Yeah. Wait, did I not put inspired? Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. Let me see. I may have to fix that. Thank you. I don't want to be lying to motherfuckers. You feel me? Oh, no. I said Williamsburg and Chelsea style detailing. Okay, I feel good. Style. All right. I put the keyword in there. That's my bad. But yeah. But you know what's crazy? The styles are pretty similar. Like, I've been looking at a lot of the architecture. They do this thing where they mix, like, you could say Chelsea kind of changed, unless you still are, you're on the Western Ave. So if you're on 10th Ave, where it leads to like 11th, if you're still over there, you'll see where the High Line starts to cross. you'll get some of these warehouse vibes still. It's just a lot of them also are like modern facade galleries. So, nah, no, actually, it starts in meatpacking. So the High Line starts in 12th Street, right by the museum. And then it goes up towards Chelsea, which starts at like 15, 16. No, not, I guess you can say, but meatpacking is his own district. Because I work in Chelsea Market. That's why they call it the Chelsea Market building at Google Boy. It's a weird neighborhood. And then, you know what? Actually, riddle me this. Some people are starting to say like 27, 28, like closer to Hudson Yards is Chelsea. If anything, they're all losing what they're meant to be. But yeah, basically, that's where I be going. Because my boss lives in Hudson Yards, right? And his studio is in Hudson Yards, but we have our shop in Chelsea Market. So I actually have to transport stock from like all the way from like 15th Street all the way to 30th Street. So I walk on 10th and 11th Avenue. So that's kind of where I'm getting this inspiration to do this. Because it's like I'm trying to treat these like the piers almost. But like obviously there's no beach there. Though I want to keep this like beach waterfront area similar to like the way Williamsburg leads into like Dumbo, like that whole area next to the what's that? Isn't that that's not the FDR, right? What the fuck? We're gonna Google map this. Hold on. All right, I ain't fuck up there. Hold on, maps. Google, thank you. Hold on. This is what we're gonna do. Damn, Google, do not snitch on me, nigga. Google is trying to snitch on me. Google is snitching on me. Dox me, Google. Dox me. So look, this here. Look, that's meatpacking. See, look. Wait. I'm gonna make this bigger. Hold on. So 14th Street, 13th Street, 9th, 14th. So this is where the Apple store is. Apple store is here. Because it's that big giant Starbucks as well, right? So all of this is, like, I used to work at Ted Baker right here. My favorite wine shop is here. Restoration Hardware is here. The Gucci store is right here. Theory is over here. So the Whitney is here. This is all considered meatpacking. There's a guy named the mayor of meatpacking. This is this whole shit here. So this is all considered meatpacking. This is the Greenwich. This is the Bleecker, the West Village. So this is all West Village. Are they gonna do the neighborhoods? Why do they? Hold on. See, look, West Village is here, right? And then meatpacking is here. Oh, click the West Village. With federal-style townhouses dotted with public squares. Notable venues include the Village Vanguard Jazz Club, the Stonewall Inn Bar, the historical artsy, also whatever. Okay, are you gonna give me the streets? I will. Don't make me Wikipedia, you asshole. But yeah, that's basically that. And then meatpacking. Hold on, we'll go. Where is meatpacking? And the only other reason I know is meatpacking. Don't get mad at me. I am an ally. The Standard High Line. There's a club in here. I think. What is that club called? Babes, what's the club called in the Standard? LeBain, right? LeBain is a known gay club. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've gone there like 3 times. I've seen enough amount of dicks that I don't want to go back. They have a lot of fun, but they be damn. Wait, you said search Greenwich? Oh, hold up, I got you. Greenwich. I don't know why it's Greenwich when it's actually spelled green though, see? is the epicenter of 1960s counterculture. Streets are tree-lined streets, off-Broadway theaters. At its heart is Washington Square Park. So that's here. So if it's by West 4th Park, oh look, oh let's go. No, all right. So that's this area over here. That's this. This is Greenwich. Because Soho is south of Houston. North of Houston is NoHo. So there's like a little bit of NoHo. I know Bleecker leads into the West Village. This is technically Greenwich. NoHo. Wait, there we go. Ukrainian Village. Soho. Move. Gramercy. She's like, well, dude, I was just saying, I just know it as like being a fashion nigga. Like, when you work in Soho, like, I'm just, my experience. You work in Soho, anything past the Adidas store is NoHo, right? We just be like, oh, that's West 4th. We don't even call it by its neighborhood, right? Over here, I call this the West Village. And you can catch the PATH train. I know that on Christopher Street. And then I know that we call that Astor Place. I don't even call this Ukrainian Village. I don't know when it got that name. This, to me, all of this is East Village. This is LES right here. This is all LES. Obviously, Alphabet City. I don't call Gramercy Park. Like, anything up here is like, oh, nah, that's the East Side. Obviously, Kips Bay because of the movie theaters, but that's about it. But yeah. You know what's crazy? I've heard like 2 conspiracy theories, but I don't know the real story. You have a video? If you have a video on YouTube, I'll plug it on and we'll watch it while I build. What the fuck is Nomad? North of Madison? What the fuck does that mean? Yeah. Madison what? Madison Square Park? I'm like, that's so fucking dumb.
That's where I work, yeah.
I know, but that's dumb. It was never called Nomad. Consolidate the fucking neighborhoods. How about that? Midtown South. Motherfucker, it is Midtown. How you gonna call Macy's Herald Square Midtown South? That's dumb. Obviously Diamond District. Yeah, whatever. Sutton Place. Nigga, yeah, all East Side. Upper East Side, bitch. Ew, Midtown with this dick in their face. I don't give a fuck. Manhattan. Eat my dick. Obviously Harlem. Yeah, we got you. Manhattanville. West Side. Motherfuckers, you. You motherfuckers, you. Alright, anyway, let me, because I'll just piss myself off. HBO, the Stroll documentary. Wait a second. Oh, alright, I'll definitely keep that on the damn, wait. Is this it? I think this is it. Hold on. Maya, do you know about Roberto Monticello? Maya, look. This guy comes into my job all the time, and he tells me he's the mayor of meatpacking. So I need you to tell me, who is Roberto Monticello and why is he in so many articles? This is the Village View, February 2024. Like, I can read it. Obviously, it's an article. I can read it. But do you know about him? Also, I'm mad. It's a fucking... He's standing in front of a Lucid Motors. Wasn't the Lucid Motors... Wasn't that a fucking... No, Serafina's still there. I'm thinking of a different street. Alright, let me not do this. I'm gonna make myself depressed. Nobody's gonna watch me. I'm not building. Alright, my bad. I'm going over history and stuff, daddy-os. My bad. Alright. If you have epilepsy, I apologize. Maybe my stream is not for you. Alright, anyhow, yeah, that's what the vibes I'm going for. Right now, though, I'm just trying to fix my fish markets because they all decided to die on me. Can we not fuck up this? Oh my god, game. What is going on with you? Alright, so what I want to do is this. I just want my fish. Like, I can put it right here. Nah, maybe, no. Alright, what about if I do this? Alright, yeah, let me do this. Alright, that's fine. Alright. I don't because we were ladies. Okay. All right. You have me compelled. Let me wait. Is this documentary on YouTube? Because you know I like me some homework. Oh my god, we can make a... Oh, this is my favorite song right now. That's about to come up. See, I only know Hunt's Point because of the HBO documentary. What was that? Taxi Cab Confessions, and then there was another one that used to just follow all of the night walkers. You know, that's the best way to say it. And then I'm from East New York, so I know all about Flatlands and East New York Industry City and all of the shenanigans that happened by that big ass church at night. You know what I'm saying? I've never partake. I didn't partake with the night walkers. But, you know, I do be knowing. Hi, babes. Copy. I don't know if she can hear me. Oh, she can hear me. Oh. That's how it is. Alright, hold on. Let me see something. It was 1L, right? Oh no, stroll. No, I can't. What was those? Stroll. Wait, is this what I think it is? No, right? Yeah? Is it this? No, it's not, right? No. No. No, it is. Yeah. Oh, it is. We found it. Yeah, we found it. Alright, I'll download that in the background. Right after this. Wait, how much are we into this mix? We got like 30 minutes into this mix, and then I'm going to watch that documentary. It's paused, right? Alright, yes. This is to make sure Maya stays for the next 30 minutes. Give me viewerships. Alright. Now what I want to do, because I know some bullshit is going to happen. Let's do this. I'm gonna delete this one more time, yeah. What I'm gonna do here is put a road, but I need the road with the wall on it, right? What is that? Pears and keys, yes. Oh wait, I forgot we play modded, bitch. Let's go. No, wait, why are you locking yourself that way? Dude, am I bugging? What the? Dude, oh my god. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. These like keyword shits kinda suck, dude. They actually sicking suck. You fucking asshole. Control H. Yeah, stop, bro. Why are you being a mother sucker right now, bro? Why are you being a mother sucker? The strobe was our only. I was even fired for being. We don't get. Eesh. Dead ass? Oh, that's kind of fucked. Oh, that's fucked. That's fucked. Like, I knew shit was fucked, but damn, like that though? That's dead fucked. And then now look, they want to make people their tokens now. That's so fucked, bro. Oh man. Oh. Of course I will. Let's do this a little bit over here. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna try this one more game. Cause dude, I actually want to detail like more stuff. I don't want to just build farms. And I'm gonna be honest, bro, I've been rebuilding you a lot. You're actually getting on my nerves. We ain't gonna have no fish in this whole map. Y'all keep fucking with me, bro. No fucking fish. No, I got. You know what? If I'm not gonna put a road, give me the key. Don't fuck with me right now, please. Dude, just. It's not gonna do what I desire. The game. Did it still build it like on a hill? Alright, that's not. You know what it is? It elevates this a little bit, and I don't like when it's elevated. Because it's not to me the actual proper height. But maybe I am building a little bit too low. I'm too at sea level right now, so I will admit that I am wilding a little bit. But bitch, it's aesthetics. Like, what the fuck? Just participate, man. We don't ask you for much. See, so what I was trying to do, I think I just have to do it this way. This way, just don't use their fucking keyholes. Their keyholes is trash. I can see why other players are not using it, bro. I'm like one of the few players I know that use it. You just use your regular old keywall that we had ever since Anarchy allowed us to make this game better. Like, come on, look at that. Look at that. Look at that, bro. I'd rather that than anything else. And no, make that underwater. Make this a little underwater. It's okay. That can be underwater a little bit. And I'll put some rocks. I'll detail that. But after, because like, bro, I actually want to build. You're not allowing me to build. I gotta keep fixing you. Like, I ain't got none of my warehouses. Like, none of my warehouses. Like, bro, look, you're fucking with me again. Like, why do you look like you? I promise you, don't drown on me, bro. LGBT History 101. T people started the Stonewall riots, which led to the gay liberation. The T has never had equal rights. Oh, I definitely know about there not being equal rights. But I didn't know that the T's were the one who pushed more of that initiative. You know what? Just like when it came to women's suffrage and women's voting rights, black women helped a lot. It was a lot of work done by them. But when women got the right to vote, black women were not included. The haves and have-nots of society, bro. Can I do a little roundy? If I do a little we do a little roundy. Let me do a little roundy. You're not gonna let me roundy? Oh, because a roundy could... The fucking bullshit. It can only work on a road. See, why? That's... I miss Washi sometimes. But alright, let's not bitch about that. Let's not bitch about that. Go down. Go down. Go down. Go down. Alright, and then let me just get this done. Because, dude, y'all know, I can sit here and look at this all day. And I'm like, I got so much work done. No goddamn sure for well I didn't get nothing done. And then, hold up. Open water fish farming. I need an information. No, dude, give me. Oh yeah. Don't come. Alright, yo, game. You really be doing it. Something. Wow, you're not gonna show me my fish. Alright, you being a young hoe. You're being such a young hoe right now, game. I bet you if Wolf was here, you would be on your best behavior. See what happens when Wolf is not here? The game just be acting up on me, bro. Alright, so, dude, alright, we got that. We have the narrow ship lanes. There we go. Oh, wait, can they simultaneously fuck that up together? Yes! Alright. Oh, wait. I was about to fuck it up. My bad. Clicky, click. We grab... we gotta zoom in on this bitch. One bitch. Two bitch. Wait, do they go... Does it go back or it has to go in a loop? Oh, it has to go in a loop. Okay. Alright, and then we take two bitch into three bitch. Three bitch into four bitch. And then we come over here, we take young one, a youngling. I'm an Anakin Skywalker youngling, right? Oh look, it's Anakin. And then I'll get bodied by one of the greatest Jedis ever, bro. Oh fucking D, and just straight murked. All right, come over here. Did I do this before for my? I can't remember, bro. All right, so yo, fishes, I need y'all to fuck it up. Wait, you're not? You know what? I haven't played too in depth with it to know if I like it or not. Should I grab oil? I know Wolf was doing oil. What it was when me and Wolf started this map, I really didn't want to do... I wanted to do like natural stuff. I didn't want to do any like crumbling of ore or another. That's why we don't have like ore mines or nothing like that. But wait, let me see. No. Fishies is here. I should be doing oil here, you're saying. Well, this is supposed to be a port area. I'm being honest, I'm gonna leave that to Wolf. I can see Wolf doing some dope shit. But yeah, there is hella oil right here. I should have made this, instead of a scenic waterfront, I should have made it an oil waterfront. I am fucking up on there. But there's a heavy concentration here as well. So, and I know Wolf staked this out as the port area. So I'm gonna see what he's gonna do. You know what? If I wanted to be a slumlord, I could do that over here and fuck all of this up. But I'm not. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. But you were right. You know what's crazy? You know my city way better than me. I fucks with it, daddy-o. Oh! It's already full! You need another one? You need another one? Wait, you're not even getting money. How the fuck is your storage full and you're not getting money? No. No, what the fuck is going on? What the... Oh, wait, you gotta produce? Production? Wait. No, don't fuck with me. Oh, I was about to get hyped. You're fucking with me. Alright, we'll do... Oh. Alright, wait. We got more storage. Wait, so how do I make manufacturing? We gotta open more factories. Yeah, it'd be... No, it'd be over here. All of this would probably be oil fields. Oh, and then when we get an oil leak and it get into the fish population, and everybody here dies. That'd be cute. That'd be cute. That'd be fucking cute. Maya, when that does happen, do know that's your fault, okay? That is your fault. I want you to know. You're responsible for all of those guys' deaths. Can I... Oh, you know what? There's a part of me... Oh, no, there's a decal here before. I'm missing something. Yeah. Oh, fuck it up. Fuck it up. Give me one over here. Why do you look so good? Dude. What's crazy is this is all how City-State Metropolis looks. So I'm getting hyped for no reason, where the better game is coming out in Q1 2026. I can't wait. Alright. Cool. Our fish stuff is working. I'm really hoping this won't get fucked. They blame the trainees. Wait, no. Oh, you mean trainee? Wait. Do they? Don't say that. No. Damn. I was about to say don't say that, and then I'm in a political sphere, so I follow all of the political YouTube streamer dudes that you can think of or name. I follow them to some extent. And yeah, you're right. Like the last 4 shootings. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Fuck. That's some mark ass shit though. Alright. Oh, so that was filled. Oh, we gotta... Alright, can I get a large? No, that's too giant. Wait. If I can do... this... Yeah, how about you just combine? You like join forces, motherfucker. With our powers combined, we are Captain Planet. There we go. You know what? Yeah. As long as I have permission, thank you. But also, like, damn, dude, damn. All right. So we're not. We gotta get some detail in this beach. I can actually switch out the surface, and because we're like in a we're trying to do like a meat packing vibe, like Williamsburg vibe. This is gonna be more akin to meat packing, but we're gonna put cobbles on the ground. Yeah, we get some cobbles. Now, I don't like those cobbles. I think we get... Nah. There's one that has grass growing out of it. I think it's over here. Yeah. Or is it not here? Where is it at? Yeah. No. I want you to see... Damn. That's too small. Fuck. Damn, I thought they were bigger. Fuck me. Fuck. Oh, assholes. Motherfucking ass fucks. Oh, I like it. Yeah, I'll do that. I like that. This is more pronounced. Should we go for the more pronounced? You know what it is? The more pronounced just... Like, this just doesn't... I gotta be up close to show the detail. That's doing too much, Daddy-o. That's doing too much. We gotta get some life in there. So let me see. Let's go back up here. We have to have something. I can fuck with that. I can fuck with... No, that's too polished. No, that's like some crazy Aryan, utilitarian... Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's not bad. I really did like this one. You need cobblestone and the triangle building in the middle of the street. Wait, do we have a flat iron building? If we have a flat iron building, I can actually include the flat iron building. I'll make this area a triangle, or we can do a triangle with one of these roads. Oh, I forgot we plattered that bitch. How did that come out? Platter overlay. I forgot we plattered that. Oh, that came... That's gorgeous. So fucking gorgeous. I definitely need the flat iron building. You are right. I do need that in my life. We gotta figure that out soon. Alright, let's come back over here before I get distracted again. We're good at getting distracted. Alright, and then take this. Yeah. But then, because now what happens is, since we did that, it has some type of texture. It needs a little bit more oomph, right? So what we're going to do is hit decals up, go to some stains. This is a fish warehouse, right? So we want to get some of the ones with the water. You see what I'm saying? And a little bit of the... Switch your direction. Yeah. Take this off here, because if that's on, it's going to go on top of the buildings. We don't want that just yet. There we go. Okay. Come over here. Have some more concentrated areas. There you go. What that building meets to the... Oh, got you. Got you. You know what's crazy? I don't want to precog. It'd be like, oh, it's going to mean this. But for some reason, because of the way you mentioned that, I think it has to deal with people dying or getting thrown off the building or something of that sort. Or because of the way the building with the triangles. I don't know. But I just have a really, really bad feeling. Just, yeah. Alright, I think, is it ground decals or... No, it's wall decals. And then I think we do it this way. We take that off. Interesting. We're not. No. Oh, but that's so fire. It should be layered like this, right? There we go. Give me life. Give me some life. Whoa. I just need to see some life. Give me some life. Wow. Alright. Because again, Daddios, we detail. This is what we do, you know. So it's hard for me not to build without detailing. Something you so hard up on you. I'm actually really curious. I can't wait to watch this documentary. And it's on. I shouldn't get flagged. If it's already on YouTube, I should be fine. Alright, so yeah, we have. I can't wait to watch that. Because I wanna. So the new YouTube series, I want more people to be incorporated, and I want to build around stories, not just make characters to go up with a build. You know what I'm saying? So if like I can make like a red light district that's like only 2 or 3 blocks, and like there's certain buildings that have a certain history, and kind of base it off of something in real life, I think that'd be kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? And then like I can talk about like the ills of those like viewpoints and put out like hotline information. Like I actually think this is like kind of why we play these games, is for like to get lost in, but also I play city builders to get immersed and build real cities modeled after my experience and stuff. So I don't know, I have an idea. Maya, thank you. When you see the document, you'll understand. No, art studio. So the businesses and buildings in the meatpacking district. Oh, all right. Yeah, I can see it changing the collective of the area. Yeah, that makes more sense. It became real Sex in the City real quick. Alright. I like how this is working out so far. What I think I'm gonna do here is we could just leave it, to be honest. Ooh, let me see. Hold up. I like this. I actually like this. These are all roofs, technically. We just gonna do this real quick. Right. Alright, and then over here, I don't think these work on this won't work. Yeah. The way these buildings are combined, I can't really do anything here. Oh, let me get the outside of this, just to give it some age. Up on you. Oh, come on, what happened? There was just a business there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Cities, like, you've not been on your best behavior lately. And if you're not gonna be on your best behavior, don't fuck with the game, dude. Come on. Oh, daddy-os, we are working right now, man. We are out here trying to flourish. This building is in my way, bro. Ah, because of the way I fused the buildings. Okay, cool. Come on, be nice. There we go. Whew, all right. So I was somehow able to get that rocking out. We flourishing. It does need a business though, so I like, come on, fish people, what happened? We have a route. We have fishies. Y'all gotta get y'all shit up there. I know the competition is crazy though, but like, that's why we here. Capitalism, you feel me? It's not a good thing, but this is something we gotta deal with. I know it sucks, but like, I need y'all to get y'all lives. Oh, well, I guess it's just at its limit. Yeah, and I'm not changing the rest of my build. Maybe I add some extra land here, but not now. Anyway, I'm ready to build some more stuff, so we can come over here, we can knock some of this out. Alright. I think what I will do here is do a pedestrian block. Where's my pedestrian streets? I need the boulevard, right? Yeah, let's do the pedestrian boulevard. Let's grab this. Let's not do a key. We can do something like this. Yeah, let's just add something like that for right now. Do you remember the Sex and the City episode? No, I actually don't. I do not have any clear, proper recollection of anything Sex and the City. Luckily, I said that when the missus is not here, because she would have made me rewatch the whole series. I can't remember the first 4 seasons of Rick and Morty, and I've had to rewatch it. Not against it, though. It's an amazing show. Also, wait, Musica's done. Documentary time. Wait, actually, YouTube. Daddios. We're gonna watch a documentary. And we're not gonna be playing any music. Y'all are doing homework as well. This will help us make better cities, but also learn some shit about New York City. So, yes, we are about to watch this. Let me go browser for all inputs. Let's go stroll documentary. Let me put it in my other corner view. I think something like that should be fine. Is that big enough? I gotta figure out a better system
we called
here.
14th Street the Straw, and that was our turf.
Some people choose sex work because they want to. Being a trans woman in the 80s, a lot of us did not have a
Oh!
choice.
People were not hiring people that looked like me.
Trans life in general, it was difficult. I wanted to make people understand the reality of our lives through storytelling.
The one issue today that obsesses New Yorkers: crime.
Crime.
The trannies were out on the street 24/7. It was really a very bad situation.
I mean, they think I'm out here to murder people instead of
I
have
think
sex
that's
with
better.
them for money.
We didn't know who's who.
You know, everybody's a client.
I
I
actually
gave
think
fellatio
this
to a
is
man
pretty
who was a cop.
cool.
And after I was done
So what
doing
I'm
his
going to
deed,
do
he
here
arrested me.
is- I don't know.
Whether it was from the police or the John, there was a lot of violence.
I almost got killed by a John who dragged me for half a block in his car.
We were on the front line with the gay and lesbian community, but you're not doing anything to help me from getting attacked.
Nope.
We knew we were freaks to them. I can't even believe it. It's like the things we had to do.
The trans community has been in survival mode forever. It's important that we all
I
get
think
an
that's
opportunity
we gotta start with something like that. This is definitely more
We
Williamsburg.
fought to be where we
You could
are.
kind of say
system never
meatpacking,
gave
but
us
not
resources.
really, unless we switch this to
created
cobbles.
resources.
And I would have had to make the blocks more square. You see, I've added this little round part. I'm being a little bit too
You
fancy.
owe it to every trans woman before you and everyone after you to keep pushing.
But yeah, I'm not mad at that.
We were pushed out of the neighborhood years ago. I was determined to make a film about the stroll before we're gone.
Wait. Oh, it's a trailer. My bad. Oh, that's fucked. Oh, that's fucked. No. Why would you do this? No, I'm not. You're gonna... No. There's no link in your description, you fucking bitch. You asshole. Damn. I really thought it was like one of those trailers before the movie type thing. They're dicks. Oh, fuck. They won't... Because I'm using OBS, it won't actually let me watch anything... Wait, can I... Wait. I'll have to sign in. Damn, I don't have my login right now. Damn. That's not fair, bro. Oh, that sucks. That actually sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. Alright, Daddios, we're going back to our regular programming. I'm sorry. Let me see. There was one video I wanted to watch. Hopefully, I think everybody should watch that, though. I'm actually gonna watch that offline. I wish I can't wait. I wish the community gets a little bit bigger, where we can do like movie nights on Discord. I will actually really enjoy that. Let me see something. Videos. I saw that. That sounded. We'll do
Within
some
a
homework.
subway
I did
system
promise
as
homework,
immense as
so
New York's,
we will do homework.
a few remarkable curiosities stand out. For example, there's a cavernous space beneath Delancey
but yeah,
Street,
I
big
definitely,
enough
I
to
think I
hold
need to
a
watch
four-lane
that.
highway.
Thank you.
Leftovers from a subway expansion stalled by political fights a century ago. And there's also the hidden upper level at 42nd Street, completed, tiled and lit, yet sealed off before a single passenger ever set foot in it. Not to mention another abandoned platform at 91st Street, which was fully built but left behind when the line's geometry was reworked at last minute.
We'll keep that like
Even
that.
so,
All right. So
none
we
of
have the
these
little
compare
farmers
to the
market here.
mystery beneath City Hall Park. You see, it's
Maybe
there
I'll put
that
more of the
behind
urban
locked
promenade
brass
buildings
gates
there.
and sealed stairways
We have the
lies
brewery
one of
right
the most
there,
beautiful
so
stations
that's a
in the
lot
entire
going on.
system. An underground palace of
actually,
sweeping
let's see
vaults,
something.
glowing skylights, curved tracks,
let's go
and
signature.
ornamentation usually reserved for
Let's
Renaissance
take this
libraries.
all.
And yet,
Actually, no,
this
I
was
shouldn't
the
go
very
signature.
station New York chose to
let's
abandon.
not actually go
So
signature.
how could
Let's
such a
do
contradiction
this.
happen? Why would New York close off the architectural masterpiece meant to dignify its public? And why, despite its beauty and historical importance, is it still off limits to the public today? Stay tuned to find out as we discover the story
Was it always
behind
called
New
the
York's
CCP?
greatest subway station.
Isn't this
and
content
why it's completely
creator
abandoned.
pack 5?
I'm your host Ryan
Oh,
Sokesh, and you're
yeah, because this
watching
is called
It's History.
Mediterranean. That's what I know it as. Interesting. That's a cute.
At
I
the
guess
turn
it's
of the
a cute
20th century, New York City stood on the brink of transformation. Its streets were already overflowing, and the rumbling elevated trains were proving to be too much of a nuisance. And since the population had doubled within a single generation, every expert agreed that the city had reached its breaking point. Hence, Manhattan needed a modern rapid transit system, something capable of moving people, but without taking up more surface space. In other words, the only option was to go underground, and the quest wouldn't be easy. Early proposals for a subway were tangled in political disputes, engineering skepticism, and fierce arguments over who would control the line once it was built. Furthermore, some engineers insisted that underground construction beneath Lower Manhattan's soft soil would be impossible, whereas others argued that tunneling under City Hall Park, in particular, would destabilize the post office vaults and foundations of municipal buildings above. Regardless, the population was growing fast.
Yeah,
so the government had to act. So by the 1890s, the city committed to building a unified underground route from the Bronx to Lower Manhattan. This system would become the first line of the Interborough Rapid Transit Company, or the IRT. And then, as the routing plan solidified, a symbolic question emerged. Where should the subway even begin? For leaders, the answer wasn't exactly logical, rather
All right,
it
but
was symbolic.
I think the one
They
with the
believed
windows
that
should
since
be,
New Yorkers
this is
were
more
wary of
Chelsea.
descending underground, the new
This is more
subway needed
Williamsburg.
a ceremonial gateway that could inspire
Yeah,
trust
so let's
as well
do
as
let's
dignity.
do that. Let's do
With that
this.
in mind, a station near City Hall at the core of government offered the perfect solution.
I'm
Still,
curious about
this is
this
important.
wall.
The choice came with
Like, why
abundant
is that wall
complications.
there
For
like
starters,
that?
to carve the tunnels, the city had to negotiate rights with the federal government, whose
Right.
post office facility
Let
stood
me
directly in
see
the
if
path
we
of the
do
proposed
high
line.
level
From there,
454.
engineers had to reroute utilities, reinforce unstable soil, and design a tight loop to turn trains efficiently without
It's just a
disturbing
lot
surrounding
of bare
foundations.
wall on that one
This
side.
was a bureaucratic
I
mess.
really
Every
don't know why
element
that
required
bare
approval,
that bare wall
compromise,
is just
and new
there like
techniques.
that.
But the will to build the subway was strong enough to push
Yo, he
everything
definitely
forward
is. He definitely
regardless.
is.
By the early 1900s,
But you know,
the
that's
challenges
just a
of
charm New
tunneling
York
under
has
City
on
Hall
people. You
Park were
figure, don't
finally
you? Like,
resolved, and crews pushed ahead with
it is
constructing a station that
life.
city leaders hoped would
that's what you're
redefine
trying
what
to
public
do.
infrastructure could be. As things moved ahead, the New York Tribune described,
No,
quote,
this is-
an
no,
immense
that's-
excavation beneath the park, noting, quote, a web of timber braces and arch forms
Let me
that
see
signaled something far more
Maybe
ornate
something
than
like
an
this?
ordinary transit stop. Now, hidden within that work was a detail that most New Yorkers never learned. The station was actually built with a second exit at its southern end.
There we
fully
go,
tiled,
alright.
fully fitted, and ready for public use. But because it opened too close to
There's
sensitive
something-
buildings, the entrance was deemed a liability.
I think I can do it.
almost
I think I'm gonna do
immediately. And
something
with that,
really-
before the first passenger
really
ever
ridiculous,
arrived,
but we
the
will do it.
staircase was bricked over,
Let me see.
leaving a
What can
finished
I
but
get? Alright,
inaccessible
we are good
portal
on
sealed
this.
beneath the park. Anyhow,
I
with the
do
basics
medium.
intact, Rafael Gustavino's craftsmen began laying their signature tile vaulting, though these vaults weren't just chosen for beauty. According to engineering
have
reports,
here?
City Hall was also experimenting with sound dampening,
No.
since the thin tile system
that
was
won't
meant to
work
soften
here.
the harsh echoes expected in an underground station, making City Hall one of the earliest attempts to engineer acoustic comfort within mass transit. But don't get me wrong, many things were just for decoration. Chandeliers of custom cast bronze were installed, although during the day, natural light was also available.
If I do
The
this
skylines
building
were fitted
here,
across the platform
take
in
it,
warm
put it,
golden
like,
patterns.
right
Archived
here.
photographs reveal just how bright those skylights
Excuse
once
me.
were. That is, before the soot and city dust ultimately dulled their surfaces. For a time, sunlight poured directly
So
into
we
the
do
station,
something like that here.
illuminating the
Take
entire
this,
curve with a
delete
soft
that
glow
rock.
that early reporters described as, quote, daylight
I want to make sure
underground.
this is
Moreover,
like as straight
oak
as
furnishings
possible.
were chosen to match the palette of City Hall above.
All right, beautiful.
Even the ferret
Now,
control
I'm
railings
gonna
were
do
fitted
like a
decorative
little.
metalwork.
I
So,
think we'll do a
indeed,
little
the city
walkway.
kept its early promise that the subway would be, quote, a dignified experience. When construction
Right,
finally
and
wrapped
the
up
way we
in
can
fall of
do
1904,
that is-
the New York Herald marveled at the, quote, cathedral-like vaults and rich color
Where
harmonies,
is-
declaring the City
There,
Hall
I used
loop,
it
quote,
over here,
the most
yes.
beautiful station in the country. That's right, the station
Thank
itself was a
you.
showpiece. In fact, before it even opened, the IRT hosted exclusive so-called
IRT,
handcar tours for the women of
it's a
society
Borough Rapid
who were invited to
Transit.
experience the elegance of the terminal ahead of the city at large. These early tours were essentially a publicity campaign, proof that the City Hall station served a psychological purpose as much as a practical
There we
one.
go.
But
All right. And
4
then
days
what I'm
after
gonna
those
do
exclusive
is
tours, on October the
take this
27th,
here.
1904, the subway officially opened the
Let's
station
just
to the
go
public.
and hit
Mayor George
props.
McCallum famously took the controls of the first train, driving it from City Hall up to 145th
Wait, do they not
Street
consider-
as cheering
I
crowds
know
pressed
you're not
along the
considering this
platforms.
a
It was
building.
also noted
You
that guests who
motherfucker,
entered
you.
the platform that evening encountered a space unlike anything before it in American transportation. Curved, glowing, and soft echoes beneath a vaulted ceiling. And it's also interesting to consider that City Hall Loop was not the only terminal loop
Beautiful.
envisioned at
And
the
then
time.
what
Early
we'll
maps
do
published
here
in 1902
is
showed plans for several looping terminals
let's
across
add a
Manhattan, part of a design philosophy that favored continuous train movement over end-of-line
If I can do a
turnarounds.
plaza
and so
here,
the City
that
Hall
wouldn't be
stop
bad
simply
either.
became
Do
the
we
most
have a
fully
plaza?
realized example of this early
Take
approach.
that off.
Be that as it may, almost immediately problems emerged. According to the Times in early 1905,
Actually,
the nearby
I don't-
Brooklyn
I
Bridge
think the
station
park here is
was
just good
recording
enough.
staggering traffic, far beyond what planners projected. That article also featured a map of the Brooklyn Bridge station, claiming it was poised to become the busiest point in the entire line, meaning
Alright,
City
trying
Hall's
to figure out
ceremonial role was
spacing real
already at
quick.
odds with the system's practical needs. And with thousands of commuters pouring across every hour,
There we go.
Brooklyn Bridge IRT stop indeed became the
All right, and then what we're gonna
gravitational
do
center of
here
lower Manhattan
is-
transit. And basically everyone started to notice that the City Hall station was practically bypassed. Despite the fact that
me
the
do some
station
grass
sat only
right
a few
over
hundred
here.
feet from the glamorous loop, and the reasoning here is simple. Riders simply chose convenience. Apparently, they didn't really need those oak benches. From the Brooklyn Bridge, they could transfer to surface trolleys, catch
There we
elevated
go.
lines, or continue their trip deeper into Manhattan without needing to set foot on that beautifully curved platform. This shift began raising
Damn,
questions
what?
about the loop's necessity at all, to the point that a Times article noted how engineers were
There we
already
go.
discussing the terminal's fate once
Beautiful.
express service would be expanded. Now, you might remember from
Ouch.
previous videos
Let's
that
not
New
mess
York
this up.
could never
Thank
really
you.
make its trains wider, so they had to go
Alright.
longer, all the way up to 8 cars at the first set, but then ultimately 10, and the tight curve of City Hall meant that the cars in the middle of the train would be positioned too far from the platform's
There
edge,
we go.
posing
Beautiful.
an unacceptable safety
Now,
hazard. And just like
here-
that, the loop, which
You know, it's
had
weird.
seemed
It'll be
so
weird if you
elegant in
can't
concept,
make a pathway
was proven
right.
to be out of sync
I
with
know
reality.
No.
By the late 1910s, as additional
Alright,
lines
this is what
opened
we'll
and
do.
ridership skyrocketed, the problem
We'll
only
delete this
intensified.
surface.
This
Let's not
was
be
best
lazy.
illustrated by an
Let's
article
get a
from August of
pathway.
1918, which showed that the city was struggling to keep pace with the swelling population. And stations like Brooklyn Bridge, which
Beautiful.
were bigger,
So then that way
straighter,
there's
and
an
more
automatic
connected, were
connection
absorbing
there.
the overwhelming majority of
We don't
passengers
need to add a
south of
connection
Canal Street.
here.
In the meantime,
And
City
then
Hall with
we'll
its
add in
5-car
our grass
platform
surfaces the way
was
we want our
refined,
grass
yes,
surfaces
but
to be
it was
added
already
in.
slipping into complete irrelevance.
So let's
Still,
do
no
something like
politician
that.
wanted to announce its closure since it was basically created as a civic gesture. Hence, for a time,
There
it
we
did remain
go.
open to avoid bad optics, though locals rarely caught a train there. Though there was fanfare, as even in the early
Something
20th
like
century,
this.
tourists and architecture enthusiasts praised it. And all throughout,
Yeah, we'll
journalists
make that
continued to
road
call
over
it
there
the
the
jewel of the
service
system.
road.
But to the IRT, the station's beauty couldn't really justify its functional shortcomings.
over
Intuitively,
here,
everyone knew what had to be done, and although no one really wanted to
add-
face it,
let's
by the
grab
mid-1940s,
surface.
the decision was made.
And we'll probably
to close
switch
the station
to surface
forever.
turret. I don't
On
know.
December
I don't like that
31st,
surface.
1945, City Hall Station
like
closed
such
its
a
doors for the very
utilitarian
last
type of
time.
concrete.
Authorities publicly justified the decision by citing low ridership and the cost of retrofitting
Right.
the curved platform for longer trains. But the internal memos, as reported by the Times, were even
Beautiful.
more blunt. They read
And
that
then
maintaining
over
a ceremonial
here-
station for only a handful of daily riders made zero operational sense. So from that night onward, all Downtown 6 trains stopped at the Brooklyn Bridge and then rolled through the empty loop, gliding past the dark arches
Okay.
where the chandeliers were switched off. Within months, dust began to settle on the oak benches, the skylights were covered in
Please
city
don't-
grime,
Oh,
and without
gosh,
regular
really?
maintenance, water started to seep through the vaults, leaving mineral streaks across the tiles. During the Second
Alright,
World
whatever.
War, and
I
in an
ain't got
already
time for
weathered
these.
state, the station had briefly taken on a different role, as the loop's geometry and secluded location
Beautiful.
made it useful as a secure turnaround point for trains evacuating Lower Manhattan during civil defense drills.
go.
But other than the drills, after 1945, its
What are
significance
you
faded
doing,
once
dude?
again.
What are y'all
It wouldn't be
doing?
until the nostalgia
Oh,
boom
no.
of the
Oh,
1950s
no.
when rail fans began publishing photos of long-lost stations that the public
Beautiful.
rediscovered City Hall's existence. And then the topic
go.
went mainstream when photographs appeared in publications during the 1970s. Preservationists called the
There
loop
we
a
go.
masterpiece
Beautiful.
and urged the city to
Oh,
reopen it
yo,
as a
bud,
part
what's
of
good? Daddy,
future
yo, how's
transit
everything,
system.
man?
However, the MTA had other concerns.
I'm pretty chill,
Internal
buddy.
reports noted
Out
that
here
the station's
detailing.
vaults required special inspections
Doing some
due
uppity
to water
gentrified,
leakage, and that
old
sections of the mezzanine were
former
structurally
industrial
fragile
area
after
detailing
decades
right now.
of dampness. And on top of all that, its entrance
you got
lied
some
directly
warehouses still
beside
over
City
here,
Hall, creating an
but you got
immediate
some
modern
uppity
security
buildings
concern.
right over here
Even
for
so, by
displacement.
the 1990s,
Just what I
further
know in New York
interest
City,
led the
you know,
Transit Museum to
unfortunately.
draft a proposal to
Alright.
restore the station for public
What's
tours.
this? Let me
the
check
Daily
this
News
out.
reported
History
in
of Delaney Street
1999
Oh,
that nearly $2
that's
million in
fucking
stabilization work
The Delancey
had
Street
already been
trolley
completed in
Not yet,
anticipation.
Mystic.
But that City Hall's security office still objected. Remember, the station is directly beneath several
Let's go.
sensitive
Oh, I'm
municipal
hyped.
offices. And so reopening it, even to small guided
My
groups,
history
was
itch is
deemed
being
way too
tickled.
dangerous. Though surprisingly, there was a brief moment when the public was welcomed back. In October of 2004, which was the subway's 100th anniversary, the city reopened the City Hall station for a single day. Reportedly, visitors were able to descend the old stairway, marvel at the intact chandeliers, shimmering tilework, and curved loop illuminated by soft bulbs. This was a rare glimpse of the subway's original promise.
That's so
beauty,
fire. I wish I was
dignity,
there.
and civic pride. After that celebration, the gates closed once more.
No,
and today,
don't
the only way
close
to
the
see it is to
gates.
stay on the 6 train as it turns through the loop. But
Yeah.
remember, the chandeliers are switched off, so
Unfortunately.
you won't see much. In a way, it's sad that this station's been abandoned.
Beautiful,
Still, given the state of public subway platforms throughout New York, it might be for the best.
You know, it's crazy.
Since
I never
at least
stay on the
this
6
way,
train. I just
New
wait.
York has
I just don't.
accidentally
I don't go in
created
a loop
priceless
itself.
time capsule.
But you know
from
what? The next
bygone
time I have off,
and it's one worth remembering.
or if I'm
it's
not
also one that
running
makes
super
me
late
wonder
anywhere,
what else is
I will
down
definitely
there.
do the loop.
If you know about
I
some
don't.
more
I've
New
never
York
paid
secrets,
attention to it. I've
let me know
heard
in
of
the
it.
comment section below.
Just
and
never paid
maybe I'll make
attention
your
to it
video.
myself.
Otherwise, until next time, this is Ryan Sokash signing off.
Thank you, Ryan. Just say you want to be a New Yorker now. It's okay. We won't hold it against you.
Terminal, visible from the Essex Street subway station, has sat abandoned for over 70
Oh, all right. I know
years.
that. Yeah, that's...
But why is that? Today, we're going to be taking a trip through history and explore just how useful it was in its heyday and why it was abandoned. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.
Do we like that asymmetry? Yo, Wolf, what is good?
The Unhinged
How's
Wolf
everything?
just redeemed Moose's 40 call.
Wolf, the migration mod from StarQ worked out perfectly. No gray boxes, Daddy-o.
The Williamsburg Bridge, opened on December 13th, 1903, was designed to
No
accommodate
gray
both cars or
boxes.
horse-drawn carriages along with rail cars.
Oh, except
it
that.
once had a total of 6 railway tracks, 2 on the
Yeah,
north
I
side
don't know
of the
what I'm
bridge,
missing there.
used by
I'm probably
Manhattan
missing a mod
streetcars, 2 on the south side,
But yeah, I didn't
used
see
by
a lot of
Brooklyn
gray boxes,
streetcars,
Daddy-o.
and 2 in the center, which is still in use by the J, M, and the non-existent Z line of the New York City subway. Close to the opening of the original IRT
is this
subway
done
line on
it is
October
done
10th, 1904,
what
local
are you
streetcars
building
began to
here?
operate across the bridge.
Wait, are you building
These
something
services
here?
were operated by the Bridge Operating Company under a
Oh.
3-cent fare.
But
The Brooklyn Rapid Transit Company, or BRT, began operating through service
I don't know.
on
I'm not
November
gonna touch
3rd,
your area.
1904.
Yo, I
It is
come over here, I'll
unknown
be
when
like,
Manhattan's
what?
trolleys began to traverse the bridge, though it is known that BRT streetcars terminated at Delancey Street,
Alright.
while Manhattan
Beautiful.
streetcars
We got a
terminated
little
at
ding-ding
Washington
here.
Plaza and Williamsburg. In 1905,
Yes,
the BRT
motherfuckers.
made
Use
one
the
of their
parking
wisest
area,
decisions by beginning construction on an underground terminal for Brooklyn streetcars and the Broadway Elevated, or as most of you would know it by, the BMT Jamaica line. The new trolley terminus finished construction in early to mid.
No, I didn't know that.
And at
Thank
that
you,
time,
Mystic.
the BRT was operating the local streetcars
So
on
fucking
behalf of Bridge Operating. Just a few months later, the underground terminal for the
Daddy-o,
BRT's
we don't know
elevated line
history.
opened,
Oh,
and
we
trains
got
were
so much
extended
to learn.
across the Williamsburg Bridge
We
into
have so
the
much
new
to
Essex
learn.
Street terminal.
That's cute.
The station had 2 tracks with both side platforms and an island platform, basically the Spanish solution. The trolley terminal itself featured 8 balloon loops with different services stopping on each loop.
Balloon loops?
For example, in this photo, you can see passengers waiting at what appears to be loop 1, and depending on the date, for a Nostrand
No
Avenue car
fucking
or
way.
a bridge local.
No fucking way!
The station was rebuilt between 1911 and 1913 to allow for a through service with the construction of the Center Street subway,
okay.
now
Say no
known as
more.
the BMT
I'ma still
Nassau
not touch
Street
it,
line.
Wolf.
This left the station with a side platform and an island platform with 3 tracks in total. Provisions were left for a 4th track to be added, and with this, another side platform would have been constructed, leaving the station with a similar design to the platforms at stations like Atlantic Avenue on the IRT or 34th Street on the IND's 8th Avenue line. The 4th track would have been incredibly
IND.
useful, with reports of severe overcrowding on the subway and trolley platforms. In any case, following the
go,
BRT's
something
financial
over here.
collapse in the late 1910s,
then
the
over
new Brooklyn
this
Manhattan
side,
Transit
we
Corporation
can
took
do-
over the BRT's assets, including its streetcar lines.
do a little
This
rock
didn't last
action
very
here.
long though, as in 1923, following the city's acquisition of the bridge operating
do
company,
something like
all Brooklyn
this.
car lines were withdrawn. From then to February 1931, only bridge locals were operated on the South Side tracks.
Actually, no.
After
Suicide
that date,
tracks.
though,
Ooh.
service was resumed on some of the lines, albeit the BMT's last for-profit move lasted only 9 years, until the entire BMT
go.
system was bought by the Board of Transportation in 1940. Trolleys continued to run across the bridge, but that ended in 1948, when service ceased and both the streetcar tracks on the bridge and the underground trolley terminal were abandoned.
Wow.
Given that most of the other trolley lines ceased operations about at the same time, it's not
Alright.
surprising that this one did as well. And
Let's do
given that it
something
ran
like-
parallel to the BMT Jamaica line into Brooklyn, it may have been redundant.
Redundantins.
A transfer corridor opened within
Wolf,
fare
are you
control
still
at
in
the
your
same
getaway?
time, connecting the relatively
Was I
new
supposed to say
IND
that?
platforms completed in 1936 to the
Is it
almost
okay for me to say that you
two-decade-old
become
BMT
Liam Neeson
platforms.
and Taken?
The former track area
And you
on
gone
the
on
south side of
getaways
the
to
bridge
Hindu
was
missions?
reconstructed into auto lanes when streetcar service ended in 1948, with a
Let me
new
know, Wolf.
ramp blocking off the ramp to the trolley
I think
terminus.
here we'll do.
The terminal itself was left vacant though, and you can clearly see that with the footage in the background.
Oh, you did? Okay, okay. Fire, fire.
In 2009,
yo,
James
that was
Ramsey,
the
an
funniest thing
architectural
you told
designer
me.
who is not
I
related
was
to Gordon
laughing
Ramsay,
my ass
was
off,
inspired
dude.
by the High Line, a former
That
rail
was
line
like the
in
cutest
Midtown
story
Manhattan,
ever, by the way.
which was
Thank you.
converted into
That
a
was,
park.
I needed that.
His thought was to
It's
create
so
something similar for the abandoned trolley terminal. The project was first publicly proposed in 2011 and quickly generated widespread attention.
Right, come over here.
The concept grew in popularity over time,
I'm
and in
mad that
October
those items
2015,
just keep
the
popping
Low
up,
Line
bro.
Lab
Stop fucking
debuted
with me,
as a
dude.
working prototype to test the feasibility of the Delancey Underground project. The lab was deemed successful and closed to the public in February of 2017, as it was only a prototype.
Interesting.
2 years later, the park was under construction and was expected to open in 2021, even though I see no signs of said construction. Just before the pandemic, the park was announced to be put on hold due to a lack of success in fundraising. I guess
Aw.
the world had other priorities. To be honest,
That
I
is-
would love to see
okay.
the old terminal converted into a park, but
She
I'm
forgot my
worried about the
stocking and
separation
grabbed-
between it and the subway lines next to it. I have
Bro,
an
that's
odd
the
suspicion
cutest
that
shit
people
ever,
will
bro.
go onto the tracks, delaying trains.
I thought that was like mad cute. Oh, I like how the garbage just showed up there too. That's so fire. Let's go. Alright, something like that.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tale from the subway.
I
If
did.
you
Thank
did,
you
of
so
course, like, subscribe, and consider supporting me via channel memberships.
Not yet, but I'm broke. But hey, Mystic, what else do you have? Do you have anything else for us?
Look.
7 months ago. There's an art installation. That sounds good. No. Yes.
From roaring steel monsters beneath the streets of Manhattan to sleek, modern tech marvels, New York City's subway cars have seen decades of evolution. But one car stands out, not just for its innovations,
really
but
on
for its
my,
rocky
like,
journey
vibe
through
right now.
history.
Just FYI.
The R44.
There we go.
For decades, every B
Yeah, we'll
division
leave
subway
that like
car,
that.
from the R1s to the R42s,
And
followed
then
a
we'll
simple
come over
rule.
here to
They were
surfaces
60
again.
feet long. But by the late 1960s, the Transit Authority
Beautiful.
and its affiliates had an interesting idea. What if subway cars were longer? 75 feet, in fact, similar to other American rapid transit systems being built at the time, like the
Interesting.
Washington Metro and BART. The idea promised increased passenger capacity and fewer cars per train consist. Since 8 75-foot cars equaled the length of 10 60-foot cars, it was even believed that they might be cheaper to operate. But no one was sure if the existing infrastructure could handle these longer cars. So, transit engineers took 2 retired R1 cars, rebuilt and extended them to 75 feet, and ran a series of clearance tests across the system. The verdict? Well, there was good and bad news.
What was the bad
The
news?
majority of tunnels could accommodate the longer cars.
Oh,
the ones that
hold
couldn't
on.
would require
We will
minor
watch that one
modifications. Most commonly,
Arigato.
the establishment of no
Ho, ho,
clearance
ho.
zones. However, some elevated lines, specifically those on the Jamaica,
Oh,
Myrtle Avenue,
Titos,
and
you
Canarsie
motherfucker,
lines,
you died.
had areas where 75-foot cars
Goodbye.
could not pass safely. In 1969, the
This-
MTA
I think that
awarded
looks
a base
really
order
fucking
of
good.
240 cars to the St. Louis Car Company. After exercising the option clause in the contract,
here?
the Transit Authority received 300 R44 subway cars for the New
And
York
then
City
over
subway
here.
and 52 more for the Staten Island Railway, replacing the nearly 50-year-old ME1 cars that had been in service
Let
since
me see. Let's go to
1925.
commercial.
The R44 was born,
No.
and it wasn't just long, it was fast.
Bait and Bistro. That would make sense
Tested
to
on
have
the
a
Long
fancy
Island
ass
Railroad,
restaurant.
the R44 set a world speed record on January 31st,
Renaissance
1972.
Hotel,
87.75 miles per hour. Employees on
McDonald's.
site swore the train was still accelerating as it reached the end of the 5.9-mile test track.
Not this.
Even with half of its motors disengaged, it still hit 77 miles per hour. This wasn't just
Wait,
a train,
my bad. This
it was
is
a statement.
blinding my eyes.
The R44's design even inspired the futuristic state-of-the-art car, or SOAC.
No.
Like the R44, the SOAC was
No.
built by the St. Louis Car Company and was intended to showcase what transit of the future could look like.
Yeah.
The
this is
R44
a vibe,
officially
yeah.
entered service on April 19th, 1972, on the F train at Jamaica 179th Street.
Yep. This is a
The
vibe,
R44s
and
introduced a
then-
variety of features that were new to the subway system.
I don't know
road
why.
signs that could be controlled.
I was wondering.
train
I was like,
line
he's
from the
putting a
cab,
little extra
door
twang on it. I'm not
chimes,
mad. I
cozy
like it,
design
but I'm like,
elements
I don't
wood
know.
paneling and bucket seats in warm yellow and orange, full width cabs for improved operator safety.
You know,
and
it'd be
automatic
fire.
train
It'd be fire
operation
if he actually
in preparation
does do
for
that.
the Second Avenue subway and Queens Boulevard Super Express lines. Even their wallpaper featured faint images of the New York State and city seals. But behind these bold features, the R44s hid some serious problems.
All right, over here, and then what we'll do is let's put some art
By
on this wall here.
1984, the P-wire braking system
Now, to
had
be
been
honest,
removed from
you
the
wouldn't
trains
see
and
something
replaced
like
with the
this
more reliable SME system,
Actually,
which had
in
been
this
used
area,
in earlier car classes.
not really.
The
You'll see
P-wire
this
system
building.
was a
You won't see
complex
it with
electronic
parking. I'm
and
gonna let
pneumatic
this
braking
rock,
system that occasionally
but I
failed,
wouldn't put this here.
triggering
This
the train's
aligns
emergency
more
friction brakes.
with what you will find in like
It had been
Williamsburg
designed
around
to
here.
work with the train's ATO systems,
Maybe you can
but
see
since
something
automation
like this
plans
on the
were
Western
eventually
Highway
scrapped,
going on like
both the
28th,
P-wire and ATO systems were
barely
removed.
even fucking that. To
The
be honest.
75-foot length of the cars also
it's the
posed
Bentley
issues.
dealership, and that's about it.
Their wide overhangs on
It's really
curves
not
made it
this. You'll
unsafe to walk
find
between cars.
something akin to
While
this
the
or
end
the
doors
Starrett
were
Lake
locked,
buildings, which
large platform
we may
gaps
end up
between
doing
cars
like
led to
right
two
here.
tragic
I, for
incidents in
some
the
reason, see me
1980s,
doing some crazy
including the
shit with those
death of a
buildings
blind
there.
passenger. In response,
But as of
the
right
MTA
now,
added
I'ma
safety
just let that
chains
rock.
between cars.
These are fancy motherfuckers.
In
This is
1988,
expensive as
8
gelato.
R44s were
This is
outfitted with
expensive-
flip
this is
dot
supposed to be an
route
expensive
and
ass
destination
place as well.
signs, a
This is the
prototype system
Apothecary or
controlled
whatever,
from the
you know what I'm
cab.
saying? They selling beverages.
This experiment
This is your
paved the
local
way for more
speakeasy, so
advanced features
maybe the
and
ice
later
cream in
subway
this
cars.
has a vibe. But yeah, let me get this some artwork on this wall. But that's the only reason I'm using it. Honestly, it is headcanon. But it's headcanon that works out. New York City train. Ha! Yo, don't talk about Daba like
From
that.
1991 to 1993, the R44s underwent the General Overhaul Program, or GOH. This citywide program aimed to give all subway cars over 10 years old a major refurbishment after years of neglect during the 1970s and 80s due to budget constraints. Half of the R44s were overhauled off-property by Morrison Knudsen, while the other half were refurbished in-house at the 207th Street and Coney Island shops. Each train was deep cleaned, restored to near original mechanical condition, repainted, and fitted with new LCD destination panels on the sides of the cars. These panels replaced the old roll signs and could also be controlled train line from the cab using the Luminator control panel. The NYC subway cars, originally numbered 100 to 399, were renumbered 5201 through 5481.
Oh, you are?
Meanwhile,
Okay,
the
say no
Staten
more.
Island
Say
Railway
no more.
cars kept their original numbers.
Oh, damn. Alright, I know who to turn to when I gotta do the Broadway Junction build.
By
You
the
and
late
Numis
2000s,
have
the
to
new
help me with
R160s
the Broadway
began
Junction
arriving.
build.
These
I promise it will
modern
get
cars
done.
were slated to replace the aging
But I'm gonna need
R32,
hella help.
R38, R40, and R42 fleets. Retirements for these cars began in 2007. Around the same time, inspections of the R44 fleet uncovered major structural integrity issues. The MTA was forced to pull them from service and pause the retirement of some R32 and R42 cars to serve as temporary replacements. Originally, the R44s were not scheduled to be replaced until 2014 with the arrival of the R179s. The last R44 on the mainland ran on September 16th, 2010 on the A train. Car number 5240 has been preserved and is on display at the New York Transit Museum.
What the fuck I want?
Remember how the R44s were originally supposed to be replaced by the R179s? Those plans were scrapped, leaving them in service for over 10 additional years, until
homie,
now,
you ain't let me know
with
why
the
they was scrapped.
R211S order. Since Staten Island wasn't getting R179s, the
Damn, Staten
R44s there
Island.
received a minor overhaul. This refresh
And
included
y'all gotta
a new
overhaul
paint
Staten
job,
Island. Y'all are
blue seat
spoiled.
replacements,
Let me not
and
say that.
restoration
Staten
of
Island is
motors and
definitely not
underbody
spoiled.
equipment. The R211S will replace all Staten Island R44s, delivering the borough its first new technology trains and its first new passenger car order in over 50 years.
Gang, gang, gang.
All R44 cars are expected to be retired by the end of 2026.
Yeah, he's putting on the voice. I guess he feels that he has to put on the voice for YouTube.
As the last of the R44s prepare to roll into history, we remember them not just for their speed or style, but for the bold leap they represented. A step into the future, even if it was a bit too soon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, consider supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing.
I had this side of the building too? Damn, Daddios. Well, you know, we detail, so I'm gonna say, oh yeah, we detail. I gotta detail. I can't run away from the detailing. Thank you, guy. Nice video. Yeah. Wait, are you saying who is that? Oh, I don't know what this is. I just like the colors, so I was like, "Ooh, colors." That's what that was the vibe we went for there. Also, here you can see I've gone for the vibe of colors and planets. All right, cool. History of the New York Central.
Before automobiles and airplanes, trains
who's
offered
Staten Island?
unmatched
Hey.
reliability, speed,
My grandmom's
and
lived
elegance.
there. Rest in peace, grandma. Mwah. Love you, Miss Gordon.
And the New York Central Railroad was
Nah,
the pride
daddy-o,
of
nah,
the
daddy-o, nah.
industrial age.
Park Hill Projects all there, you feel me? At 72,
Stretching
right
from the
off
heart
the
of
ferry, go
Manhattan
straight there.
to the edge of Lake
Can't
Erie
get
and
lost.
beyond.
Or was it the 79? It
Its
was probably the
shining
79
tracks
too. It was right.
milk from
I was right by the Home
coal
Depot.
from
So, yeah,
hills,
we gang.
and people on the adventure of their lives.
I'm not gonna lie. My trees are fucked.
Grand Central
I just
Terminal
noticed.
stood as a crown jewel,
No.
pulsing
No,
with constant
trees.
motion.
Tree controller. No, it is yin yangs. What's
From
going
city
on?
skylines to quiet valleys.
Why do they look like
its
that?
influence reached virtually everywhere
I don't know.
in
My
the Empire
that
State.
bush looks so ugly. I'm gonna change it soon.
And countless towns.
So right
hung
now it
with
can
the
stay.
rhythm
Ooh,
of
you know what we can
arrival
do? Let's
and
put the
departure.
sports bar right here too.
And when you put it all together, it formed
Let's
one
go.
of the largest
Don't
networks
we have
in
the sports
American
bar?
history.
Where's that sports bar at? Yeah, that is brawling. I think that's doing too much. Shopping mall is, bitch. No, too much. Alright, I think we're doing too much. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This is a long ass intro. Come on. Yeah. Oh, this. No, because then it blocks the artwork.
The New York
No,
Central
we don't do that.
Railroad.
We'll keep that just like
Where do
this.
you even begin with something like this?
What we'll do here
It was one of
is
America's
actually,
greatest railroads,
We'll do modular
running from
parts,
1853
pocket
to
parts,
1968.
Yes, 5368.
Trains rolled between New York City, Chicago, and hundreds of towns in between. But that kind of reach didn't happen overnight.
You're right.
It all began with the first tracks in America, some of which were in New York State.
I'm glad y'all know it was in New York State, motherfuckers.
In the early days, transportation in New York meant paddling rivers and hauling boats across muddy trails. Haudenosaunee natives followed paths like the Oneida Carry, which was a vital portage route between the Mohawk River and Wood Creek.
Interesting.
By the late
Thank you for that
1700s,
info.
those same paths grew into rough wagon roads, including the Great Genesee Road that stretched west from Utica. Inventive minds soon turned from roads to canals, seeking smoother and cheaper routes for commerce.
Beautiful.
Early canal projects, like one in Little Falls, paved the way for the massive Erie Canal, a waterway that turned New York into the Empire State. As canal
Damn,
travel
I was trying to
flourished,
make them even.
new ideas emerged for even faster connections. And in 1826, the Mohawk and Hudson Railroad was chartered to link Albany and Schenectady. It became one of the first rail lines in the nation, and the first permanent one built in New York State.
New Yorkers don't claim Staten
Engineer
Island.
John Jervis soon took charge, designing the famous DeWitt Clinton locomotive that marked a new era of travel.
You got it.
The
you got
success
it.
of the Erie Canal
But do know,
encouraged
wait.
a network of
I gotta
side
pause
canals
this. Homework
and
on
railroad-
pause. When it comes to a rap battle or a rap conversation, we are claiming Staten Island for the Wu-Tang Clan, okay? We are not playing. I'm sorry. When it comes to rap, gotta claim them. That's it.
Roads would rise alongside them, ready to move even faster. The New York and Harlem Railroad linked Lower Manhattan to Harlem.
I
and
prefer
expansion
the
of rail
Erie
lines
Canal for my
changed how people moved.
But
boosting connections between towns and regions.
we have planes and cars and
Not everyone was happy, however.
jet fuel.
Some resisted, worried about competition with canals and changes to settlements.
They belong to Jersey.
Despite
Fuck no.
opposition,
No, I'm not claiming
the
Long
1930s
Island.
and 40s
No,
saw a
I'd rather
surge
claim
of railroads
Yonkers.
connecting towns and opening new routes across New York.
I love you, babes,
And here's
but
an
like
interesting tidbit.
the missus is from
concept
Long
of the
Island, but
caboose
like nah.
possibly began on the Auburn
Long
and
Island didn't give us no good
Syracuse
rappers.
where a boxcar served
You
as
better
a
give me
rolling
Jadakiss.
office for the conductor.
Public
By the
Enemy is Long Island.
mid-1800s, trains were running to
No
Rome and
bullshit.
Buffalo,
I don't believe
connecting
that.
key cities,
And if they were,
but
fuck
still
them.
operating separately.
They ain't better than LOX.
The network was fragmented, with each line running independently and often out of sync. It was obvious that these separate tracks needed unification, setting the stage for a transformation
Fuck Eddie Murphy.
that would reshape
Fuck
travel.
Eddie Murphy. You sure he wasn't Queens? No, he was Queens. You lying. That's why he did the movie Coming in America in Queens. Maya.
In 1853,
Yonkers is not a borough.
under the leadership of Erastus Corning,
yes.
10 independent
Yes.
railroads were combined.
Oh, wait, no.
to
Then
form
Far
the New York
Rockaway.
Central Railroad.
Far
spanning from
Rockaway is
Albany
not part
to
of Queens.
Buffalo.
It's his own borough. How about that?
And not long after that,
Stack
a man
bundles.
named
I
Cornelius
dare anybody
Vanderbilt
say anything
entered
about
the
Stack
railroad
bundles.
business,
No, we're not
gradually
doing this.
acquiring control
And I'm a
of
Stack
major
bundles
lines
fan. I'll play
and
all my
extending his
favorites.
influence across the state.
Far Rockaway. And I was on Beach
His
60 for a couple
consolidation
years.
of the New York Central and
Gang,
Hudson
gang,
River
gang.
railroads created a unified route along the Hudson and Mohawk valleys, part of what would later be called the water level route.
Ashanti's Queens.
The railroad expanded quickly,
No,
and
she's
New York
Queens.
City's law restricting steam trains below 42nd Street
No, he's
led to the
fucking
construction
Queens.
of a Grand
He's
Central
Queens. He
depot
went to school in
at
Harlem.
that location.
He went to school with Diddy.
At the
They
time,
all went to school
he was
together.
in the
No, he
sticks.
was not Long Island.
People mocked the idea of putting something so far from the city.
He moved. He started in
Oh,
Brooklyn.
Age 12.
It doesn't matter. He
Expansion
was in
continued
Brooklyn first.
as the New York Central acquired Western lines,
He graduated from
improving
Union
travel
High School.
and
Oh,
freight
fuck.
efficiency.
No, he did not go to Brooklyn.
Even
No,
canal
that's
toll
bullshit.
reductions
That's
could
bullshit.
not
He did
match
not go
the
to
speed
Uniondale.
and year-round service
No, he did not.
of the
He went
growing
to,
rail
they all
network.
went to school together.
By the 1880s,
No, Busta
the
Rhymes and
railroad
Diddy went to
provided
school
a
together.
continuous
At
route
some point,
from
but
New
not
York
when-
No,
City
go
to
check.
Chicago,
They went to some school
solidifying
in
its status
Harlem
as a
or
major
Manhattan or some
national
dumb shit like
system.
that. I
A
know I'm
trip
not
from
bugging.
Manhattan to Rochester
There was a couple of
took
artists
about
that
12
all went to school
hours,
together.
and Chicago was a 33.5-hour journey.
This is
very
fire.
impressive for the time.
Oh, I think they can hear you. So they hear us debating. Show me.
He attended
He attended.
George Westinghouse
Yes.
Program Technical Education
During its
Yes.
heyday,
Yes.
the New York Central
When he
carried
was older,
massive amounts of freight
Yeah, you
and
just said in
supported
high school he
expanding
graduated from
factories
Uniondale.
across New York and the Midwest.
Checkmate, motherfucker.
Cargo included steel, coal, and canned
Cheers,
foods,
baby.
But
with
he-
notable
but he
shipments
attended a
from
few
Olney
high
and
schools,
Floyd
actually.
factories.
He
He's
did
a
graduate.
babes.
The
He's a
Mohawk and
nigga
Malone
in the
line
'80s.
connected the
you don't think he won't be in
Adirondacks.
different high schools?
Okay, so
And
he
the
went to
Empire
Brooklyn.
State Express blew people's
Yeah,
minds
here we go. She
with
gonna try to
rapid
debate.
transit. One locomotive even
Mhm.
famously went over 100 miles an
And then
hour,
he eventually graduated
but
from
who
Union
knows
High
how
School in
accurate that reading was.
So he went to a few
Anyway, by the early 1900s,
He had
New York City had more suburbs
And
within a
Uniondale is
25-mile
where?
radius than any other city in the country.
Mariah Carey and Jerry
Thanks, of
Seinfeld.
course, to the
Exactly.
rail empire. Meanwhile, Union Station
Jerry
in
Se-
Albany became
Jerry
a hub for
Seinfeld is a.
passengers.
We
And
know
at
what
North
he
Creek
is. I'm not
Station,
doing this.
Vice President Theodore
He is a
Roosevelt
Brooklyn Jew.
discovered
We're not
he was
doing
going
this
to
right
become
now,
president,
okay?
prompting an urgent ride to Buffalo to take the oath of office.
Anybody disagrees, then so
During
be
this
it.
period,
But we
the
all know
20th
what Jerry
Century
Seinfeld
Limited
is.
luxury train
And nobody's mad at
dazzled
that.
passengers with speed, elegance,
Jude
and
Apatow?
red carpet service.
I think it is Judd. I was
A
fucking
fierce
with you.
rivalry
I was
with the
mad. I
Pennsylvania
was mad,
Railroad
baby. I'm sorry.
defined
You know
the
the
era,
Baldwin brothers are also
marked by the 1910 debut of
Ah.
Penn Station in Manhattan.
All right,
The New
then
York
we don't
Central
need those
followed with the
motherfuckers.
Grand Central Terminal in 1913.
We got
which
Sam
was an
Orderson from
electrified
Lord
both
Order is
sides
better than the
masterpiece
Baldwin brothers.
that
And
set
I'm an
new
Alec
standards
Baldwin
for
fan,
design and
okay?
efficiency.
He could do no wrong in
Outside
my
of New York
eyes.
City,
I don't
stations
know
like
who shot that
Yonkers,
woman.
Utica Union, and Rhinecliff
I didn't
extended
watch
the
the
rail
case.
system, bringing Grand Central's reach deep into the state. In 1914, the network underwent full consolidation,
Fuck, Dr.
combining the New York Central and Hudson River.
Guess
with the
what?
Lake
Guess what?
Shore
Guess what?
And
The
Michigan
best
Southern
basketball
lines.
player of all time was born
With
in
the
Brooklyn. It
railroad
doesn't
stretching
matter.
across
Even
11
if he
states,
didn't win
it
and
was a
help
golden
Chicago get the most
But all
titles
good
they will
things
ever
must
get
come
in
to
their
an
whole
end.
existence,
The
he is still
convenience
a
and freedom
Brooklynite.
of automobiles would soon eclipse rail travel, signaling a
We have
new
the best
chapter
rapper
in
ever. Like, I'm
transportation.
not doing this, babes. We not doing this. We not doing this. We not doing this. I'm not.
As automobiles were on the rise, railroads
Because if that's the
and
case, if
canals
Long Island would
faced
have
declining
claimed
traffic,
their borough,
and
then
even
I'm
things
claiming
like
Michael
the
Jordan.
newly completed barge canal could not reverse
Oh,
the
all right,
trend.
all right, all right. I just wanted to make
Even
sure.
so, the railroad would still
Nobody
play
cares
an
about Long
important
Island.
role during World War
Why
II
Julius Erving
by
ain't play for the
transporting
Knicks?
soldiers and wartime supplies across the
Oh,
country.
he didn't want to.
After the war, the New York Central
You
attempted
hear that,
modernization
Daddy-O's?
and
You hear
streamlined
that,
operations
Daddy-O's?
to remain competitive. competitive. However, the construction of the interstate highway system and growing airline travel drew passengers and cargo away.
The fact still
marking
remains
the
that
start
Staten
of a
Island is.
steady
You know
decline.
what? You're absolutely right.
Facing severe
Oh wait!
financial
Oh!
strain,
I
it
like how
merged
y'all was
with
double
its
teaming me.
rival,
I just
the
saw
Pennsylvania
chat.
Railroad,
Wow!
forming
Wow,
the Penn
babes.
Central
Wow.
Transportation
You was calling
Company
the ringers?
in
I see
1968.
y'all. I see y'all conspiring.
Shortly after, financial
And
and
Wolf, I just
operational
like how you
chaos
just sitting there with
led
your
to
popcorn.
bankruptcy, the largest in U.S. history at the time.
You know
By
what?
the late
Now, just for that,
1970s
bro.
and into the 21st century, Conrail took over the viable lines, and commuter services like Metro North preserved
gang, gang.
parts of the original routes.
Oh, I need more trains. I need more trains.
The New York Central Railroad.
Oh shit!
defined
This
a
is
century
Central
of rail
Railroad too.
travel
Okay, we
and
can watch
regional
that.
development.
Oh, they got a history of Manhattan
Its
and
pioneering
Queens.
routes and
Oh,
efficient
dude, you do a
operations
lot of shit.
set standards
Sub.
that persist.
All right,
to
Daddy-Os,
this day.
click that link in the YouTube.
Many original
I
tracks
mean, damn, not in the
still
YouTube,
handle
but in
cargo,
the Twitch,
passenger, and
YouTube.
commuter
If y'all want
traffic,
this, let me know. But
proving lasting
yeah, y'all
relevance.
can watch this as well.
And speaking of which, Grand Central Terminal is
Mules
still going
pulling my
strong.
boat are good. Yo, Bud, I
To
just
me,
Bud is
it's
wallet.
still very much
Bud Mules
crown
pulling.
jewel. Have a good one.
You know what, Bud? Godspeed on that, bro. You know a mule is like half a horse, right? Oh, I've watched this before. Oh, all right, we fucks with. Oh, he did one on Queens. Let's learn about Queens, Daddy.
My wife is
Oh,
from
I'm in
Queens,
education mode. We locked in.
and it's my duty as a husband to learn more
Look
about
at
it.
y'all motherfuckers, yeah.
It's the biggest borough
bitch.
of New York City, spanning 14
just
miles
chill-
across
y'all just
and 15 miles
congregated.
down. It reaches both the East River and the Atlantic Ocean. Because of its large size and varied terrain,
Let's do.
the borough includes dozens of unique neighborhoods, from waterfront areas to suburban-style communities to crowded city streets, each with its own character.
Actually, you know what we should do?
And in this video, I'm going to attempt to show how it all fits together.
Show. I dare you to show us. I dare you to show us, nigga. You're not gonna show us.
Roughly 20,000 years
Where the
ago,
fuck is-
the Laurentide ice sheet spread across the region of Queens at the height of the Wisconsin glaciation. The glacier pushed soil, stones, and clay into long ridges that later became the backbone of Long Island. As
I
it
like how
melted,
he's including
it
this in the
sculpted the
Queens
northern
thing,
hills
helping y'all
and
little
washed vast plains
Long
toward
Island
the
people
southern
feel
coast.
important.
The retreating ice
I
also
say
left
all it is,
ponds,
and
creeks,
I bet you if
and
I can get
fertile
some
soil
property in
that
Long
would
Island for the
sustain
cheap.
life. Early Algonquin-speaking
Eh,
natives
I was a
built
former
small woodland
Brooklynite.
villages and called the region Matinecock, meaning hilly country. One of their settlements
bet you
was
that ends up
located
becoming
near
Montauk.
present-day Douglaston and Little Neck, where shellfish from the bay fed the community. Many Algonquin words from the era survive today, such as Rekawaki for Rockaway. In 1524, Giovanni de Verrazano's voyage brought the first European record of the joint.
Is that why the
and Henry
Verrazano
Hudson
Bridge is called
followed
Verrazano?
decades later.
Oh my god, I'm dumb.
Then,
Alright.
Dutch explorer
Second
Adrian
headphone
Block
on.
mapped the coast
Lock
of Long
in.
Island. These explorations gave rise to Dutch New Netherland and the settlement of New Amsterdam
I know
under
what New
Peter
Amsterdam.
Minuit. Later,
Peter
Governor
Minuit.
Peter
That's right.
Stuyvesant encouraged farming communities to grow along the Queens shoreline.
He did do that.
English settlers soon arrived from the New England area, allowed to stay under Dutch authority as long as they pledged loyalty. They founded settlements in today's Astoria, Whitestone, and more.
Let's go.
Flushing was founded
Biggie's
in
Brooklyn all day, every day.
1649
He was
and
Biggie
became
was
one of the
Brooklyn
most
was yes.
prosperous
He was
towns
pretty
in New
notorious.
Before that, an earlier settlement at
Well,
Maspeth had failed.
just know
due to
you're loved,
conflict,
okay?
But some of its
That
residents
was mad
rebuilt
fucking cute.
inland as
I like
Newtown,
read it in
today's
advance, and it
Elmhurst.
still made me laugh. That was so fire.
In 1655, English settlers established Jamaica.
They did.
And 2 years later, residents issued the Flushing Remonstrance, a bold stand for freedom of religion under Dutch rule. John Bowne upheld that principle by holding Quaker meetings despite Stuyvesant's ban. His home still stands in Flushing today as
Does
a
it?
monument to early American liberty.
Oh, we gotta go visit that
But
bitch.
even as ideals of tolerance spread, European diseases
Bitch,
like
we gotta go
smallpox
see
devastated
the
the island's
dude's house.
native peoples, leaving the land nearly empty.
Wait, I
His
gotta get his
home
house.
still
His
stands
home.
in Flushing today as a monument to early Americans issued the Flushing Remonstrance, a bold
Flushing.
stand for
His
freedom
house
of religion
still
under
exists.
Dutch rule.
Okay.
John Bown upheld
John
that
Bown
principle
upheld
by
the
holding Quaker
Flushing
meetings
thing?
despite
Yeah,
Stuyvesant's
he did.
ban.
Huh?
His home still stands in Flushing today
Mhm.
as a monument to early American liberty.
Bring back the conduct on falling
But
asleep.
even as ideals
I can't
of
do that for you.
tolerance
I
spread,
can't do that for you at all.
European diseases like smallpox devastated the island's native peoples.
That's okay. I
leaving the
need
land
real
nearly
horsepower,
empty.
not the fake horsepower
Amid
of
this
my
changing
Civic.
world, English
Dude,
warships
you have a
arrived in
Civic?
1664
Bro, you already know what you need
and
to do to
seized
that.
New
Let's not do
Netherlands,
that. You already know the
renaming it New
vibes.
York. Under English rule, the land was reorganized,
Mm.
and Queens County was
I'm
established
trying to
in
find a
1683.
surface here that'll
It
look
was named
good,
after
and not
Portuguese-born
too out of
Queen
place,
Catherine of Braganza,
but mix
wife
like
of
brick
Charles
and
II.
like maybe this.
Jamaica was selected as the county
Yeah.
seat. And further east, the towns of Hempstead and Oyster Bay were thriving as agricultural towns within its bounds. Farms multiplied,
Wait, you're on your
new
fourth
paths
Civic?
emerged, and the King's Highway
Did you
Road
start collecting them
became
in
a
88?
lifeline of commerce.
Not trying to say
During
tell
the
me your age,
1700s,
but tell me your
crafts,
age.
trade, and government expanded.
Oh, grow
But after
shalom,
the
my
Seven
brother.
Years' War in the mid-1700s, tensions began to rise in Britain's North American colonies. People were divided, but Queens generally leaned towards the crown as loyal loyalists. After the Declaration of Independence,
No, we
the
need better
Revolutionary
grass.
War got under full swing, and the Battle of Long Island in August of 1776
Yes.
would be the largest engagement of the war. Through Jamaica Pass, British troops outflanked rebels, leading to a major defeat for George Washington and his Continental Army.
Long Island
For
is
the
the
remainder
reason
of
we
the
almost
war,
lost the
Queens
war?
was under British control. with
Oh,
its
fuck
fields
Long
and
Island,
homes
fucking
serving the
traitors,
Crown's
disgusting
forces.
fucks. They all vote for the
As
fucking
the war
orange man
eventually
anyway.
came to a close and American victory was imminent, many loyalists packed
Yeah,
their bags and
yeah,
fled
I don't
to
know
other
about
British
that Long Island
territories.
shit, y'all.
Queens had a modest population
No, I have a
of about
2015 Civic
16,000,
my mom gave me
and it would soon
to
thrive
go to
as a
university in
supplier of
Montana.
produce and
Drove from
grain
upstate New
in
York
the
to
new American
Montana,
nation.
and it damn. My Civic
Turnpikes
fares well in
replaced rough
snow
paths,
of Montana,
and
but
during
it
the War of
only snowed
1812,
twice this winter.
forts were built
Ah,
that saw no
yo,
battle.
but I thought you were. I
In
didn't.
these years,
You know what's
DeWitt
crazy?
Clinton was
That's my
busy
fault.
planning
I didn't
for
know
the
you
Erie
were that
Canal
young.
at his home in
Good shit though,
Ascot.
dude. Good shit.
And Queens became known for horse racing.
Hell,
with
I don't
tracks
even drive,
like the
so
Union
what can I
Course.
say? The one
St.
Ford
Paul's
Focus I
College
had, we
opened
won't
in the
talk about.
1830s,
Wolf, why
and the
did you burn
neighborhood's
out
name,
in your Ford
College
Focus?
Point,
What happened, dude?
remained long after
Also,
the
was it
seminary
an
closed.
RS Sport and was it
The
blue?
arrival of the Long Island Railroad linked farms to
But
city
that was an
markets
inside joke for
and
you.
encouraged population growth. Additional railroad lines in the 1850s and 60s
You know we love a good Ford
made Queens
Focus
even
RS.
more accessible.
That's why Sandy took
Industrial
one.
growth followed, as well as communities.
Oh
like
wait, it was
Ravenswood,
blue.
Woodhaven,
Oh,
and Queens
Wolf,
Village.
Wolf, you just made my day.
Jackson Avenue was helping people get
You
around.
made my day, dude.
Just as unrest over the 1863 draft during the Civil War.
You just memed
reflected
so hard
wider
without
social
even knowing
tensions.
it.
After the Civil War, expansion brought new neighborhoods like Richmond Hill, Ozone Park, and Glendale, while
Gang,
Long
gang,
Island
gang to
City
Ocean.
was incorporated
I mean
and became
Ozone
an
Park. Let's
administrative
go.
center.
Let's go. Y'all already
By the
know.
1880s, streetcars and new transit lines were spurring growth in Ridgewood, Morris Park, and more. Then, in
The
1898,
shop from Morris
Queens
Park.
joined Greater New York City, forming one of its 5 boroughs. Not everyone in Queens was on board with this, however.
We don't give a fuck.
And a year
They
later,
don't got a choice.
Nassau County was formed from its 3 eastern towns.
Oh yeah, they wanted to
For the
betray
rest
us.
of
Bum ass
Even though it
Nassau
was a part of
County.
New York City, the borough remained relatively rural, with a population of about 150,000.
My focus was in lemon transmission
Things would
software
change,
issues
however,
where it would have
as the
bought
20th
about.
century began.
Damn.
Urban growth spread steadily.
Oh shit, you did?
and early
Okay,
planned
look at y'all
neighborhoods
motherfuckers all
like
Forded out.
Laurelton, Howard Beach,
Built
and
for
Kew
tough. I
Gardens
see y'all.
saw
See
new
y'all out
housing.
here.
Rockaway Beach drew crowds with an amusement park.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the 1909 opening of the Queensboro Bridge connected Queens to Manhattan's heart. On top of that,
Unfortunately.
tunnels to Penn Station made the borough more accessible than ever. And these projects opened up previously isolated areas. Neighborhoods including Sunnyside
Alright.
and Woodside expanded rapidly.
I like how this turned into a
In
beachfront
1915,
waterfront build.
Queens hosted the U.S. Open
I
tennis
got
tournament
so
for the first
distracted
time.
making this area.
And that same year, street numbering was standardized, bringing order to growing neighborhoods.
All right.
Then a new
Let's
subway
concentrate
system
again.
fueled
Let's
even
get the
more
fuck from
growth.
over there.
In the 1920s,
Because, dude, I
saw
was
the
a lot.
construction
Yo, y'all
of
gotta.
many single-family
Honestly, I
homes
need y'all to hold
in
me
neighborhoods
accountable.
Like Bayside
Y'all
and
gotta be like,
Commerce.
hey, squirrel,
Planned
squirrel.
communities
Like,
like
dude,
Forest
I was
Hills,
a lot.
Jackson Heights,
Wolf, that was
and
me
Rego
back
Park
in the day, bro.
offered modern housing and green spaces.
That was me back in
The
the day.
population
Because I
hit
get
1
stuck on
million
the
around this
detailing
time,
area,
just
and
as the
dude,
7 train
there was
reached
no
Flushing.
fucking tomorrow, bro.
As with other neighborhoods, Springfield Gardens was growing quickly. Right around the time King Cullen opened its doors, one of the first modern
No, say it again.
supermarkets.
Say it again.
And even with the great
Say it again.
planned communities like Forest Hills,
Yes.
Jackson Heights,
Yes.
and Rego Park
Yes.
offered modern housing and green spaces.
Yes.
The population hit 1 million around this time.
Did it?
Just as the 7 train reached Flushing. As with other neighborhoods, Springfield Gardens was growing quickly. Right around the time King Cullen opened its doors.
Yes,
one
yes,
of the
yes.
first modern supermarkets. And even with the Great Depression, development continued.
Brooklyn took Spring Creek Gardens.
The
though.
Triborough Bridge, Whitestone Bridge, and LaGuardia Airport
You
were
can't
completed,
get me into a Ford
as well
now.
as the Flushing Meadows Corona Park.
Steering gear
The
broke
latter
on me
would
in
be the
Savannah,
setting of the
Georgia.
1939
Cost me 2K
World's
USD to get it fixed
where
on.
fancy
Oh
new
my
technologies
god.
like television.
Oh my god. No, Spring
During
Creek
World War
Gardens
II,
is not a
Queens
bougie
industrial
area.
neighborhoods
It's not
were
bougie.
active,
The real
and
Spring
work
Creek
began on
Gardens.
the Idlewild
We ain't bougie.
Airport,
Starlight
which
ain't
would later
bougie. Don't
become
believe them.
JFK.
Gang, gang,
After
gang,
the war,
gang, gang,
the GI
gang.
Bill
East New
brought
York.
rapid
I consider that
suburban
East New
growth,
York. That's
and the
all
United
me.
Nations
That's all
met in
me.
Flushing
Say no
Meadows
more.
before moving to
Yeah,
Manhattan.
yeah. Cross Bay
The Long
Boulevard.
Island
What's up?
Expressway followed, as well as the Queens Symphony Orchestra and Throgs Neck
We don't give a
Bridge.
fuck about all of that though.
Colleges
Orchestra.
provided
Orchestra
higher
is mother-
learning,
Let me be
and the
nice.
Mets gave the borough
Alright,
its own baseball team, playing at Shea Stadium
Let's see
by
here.
1964.
Let's add in.
At the same time, Weight Watchers began here, and another World's Fair was held, this time providing a Unisphere that is still iconic. Soon
Alright,
after,
we'll do a
the
mix. I think we
1965
could do
Immigration
mix
Act
here,
reshaped
'cause
Queens,
I have
filling
mixed-
its
oh, yeah,
neighborhoods
that's
with
like a
cultures
mix.
across the world. Amid these changes,
This is like
the
gonna
Queens
be
Historical
empty.
Society
We'll do
took
mixed
root,
over
and
here,
the Mets won their
and then
first
there's hella
World Series.
commercial.
By the 1970s,
Yeah, and then we're gonna
the
do all
Flushing
of this to be
Tribune newspaper
residential.
began
Yeah,
publishing,
that makes
and the
sense.
son
Let's
of
do a
Sam
mixed
Killings
building.
shook the borough.
Let's go
The
northeast.
1980s brought gentrification, and around this time,
Fuck
my wife was
gentrification.
born here.
Yeah.
She would eventually grow up and move away, destined to fall in love with an upstate boy.
Bitch, what?
As the 90s began, Queens.
Hold on.
The 1980s brought gentrification, and around this time, my wife was born here.
Oh, all right.
She
your
would
wife.
eventually grow up and move away, destined to fall in love with an upstate boy.
Aw, so sweet.
As the 90s began, Queens' population was about to hit 2 million, and
2
immigrant
million?
communities flourished, with Flushing's Chinatown becoming one of the largest in the country.
Gang, gang,
Modern
gang.
towers rose in Long Island City, and the 9/11 attacks left the borough mourning, but also
Nah,
united.
this is more of a Chelsea
Then
type
Hurricane
of building.
Sandy's
Because there
waves
is a
battered the
building
coast,
in
and by
Chelsea
2015,
that's just like
Queens
this.
was
It's for the
recognized
department.
as one of the
I
most
think
linguistically
is it
diverse
Department of
places in
Corrections?
the
Yeah.
world. In 2020, Elmhurst Hospital stood at the heart of the COVID crisis.
Yeah.
But things have moved forward, and with the new
All
Grand
right.
Central Madison, there's a new direct link to Manhattan.
Ooh, what's this? That's not actually a bad building.
Today, Queens holds nearly 2.5 million people. It continues to modernize.
I wish it was higher.
Yet maintain its
Let me see,
character
do we have
as
a
a
higher
borough of
variation
unique
of this building?
neighborhoods. And to my wife, I just hope I did it justice.
Aww.
Have a good one.
Aww. Hello, who you wife? That's so sweet, motherfucker. That was hella sweet, dude. Dude, you're a gentleman and a champ for that, bro. That was so fire. Great job, dude. This is definitely more Chelsea vibes right here. Let me get this here real quick. Real quickingtons. All right, I can deal with this. Let me see. Yeah, I actually can deal with that. I can deal with that. Oh, you did Manhattan? Let's do Manhattan.
When I first moved downstate, I often heard people talk about the city.
Oh, this
It wasn't long
this
before
is
I figured
technically
out they were
honestly
talking about
this
Manhattan.
reminds me of the Chelsea Market building next to the
A
Whitney.
densely
So that's the only
populated
reason I
borough
kind
of
of
New
did
York
something like
City,
this.
mostly on an island between the Hudson and East Rivers. I'm going to try and summarize its full
I'm
story.
only doxing myself. That's all
And
I am.
kind
I'm
of
like,
lots
hey,
happened here.
this is what I
So
see
let's
every
jump
day.
right into it.
This is what I decided to build.
So, what's the topic
Don't
of
kill
discussion?
me.
About 10,000 years ago, Manhattan was buried under a glacier about a
Fuck
mile
you.
thick.
Damn.
After it melted, the ice sheet sculpted the landscape and left behind boulders that you can still find in Central Park today.
Oh, you don't
Following this,
mention Washington
many
Heights, so
Lenape
fuck
natives
you.
inhabited the area.
Asshole.
They called it Mannahatta, possibly meaning
Oh,
Island
the
of Green
correction
Hills.
building. Here, let me
In 1524,
pause. I think it's Department of Correction. It's not DOE. I know it's not DOE. Maps. Stop doxing me, Google. The fuck? And I actually have location services off. Alright, so when I leave work, I get out here, walk up this block, walk here, walk down here, walk down here, walk down here. Gallery, gallery, gallery. There's an old fucking rusty ass. Walk up here. No. No. It's not this area. It's not that. No. It's not that. Where is that old ass building? I'm gonna take a picture of this fucking building. No, I swear to fucking God, it's somewhere over here. Oh, here we go. Wait. Going deeper, yes. It's not the modeling agency. It's not that. Isn't that a correction building? What fucking building? No, it's not that. It's definitely not that. Suck it. Motherfucker, get the fuck off my screen. I'm gonna fucking walk. I gotta go to work anyway. It's definitely not that. It is 11th Avenue. Yes. It's like, and it's so fucking shady. And I actually found out where the fucking corporate offices is at for a couple of buildings actually. Asshole. No, stop. No. All right. It's Terminal Warehouse is here. No. That's the expensive ass dealer. It's not. All right. His food truck is there. Yes. It's actually right there, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Hold up. Yes. No. It's not Voss Events. It's not that. Is it before Chelsea? It is. I'm gonna take a picture when I run into this fucking bum ass building again. Oh, actually, hold up. Give me Street View. Motherfucker. Yes. That's the post office. Yeah. It's not this. It's an older building. I don't think it's as close. So that's the Starrett Lay building. We have a building similar to... The Southwest offices is basically this building. Alright, so this building here, if I'm not mistaken, this is corporate offices for Isabel Marant and shit. There, you see this? Can I click that? They won't let me click it, but that'll show you that. So it's not that building. It's, oh no, it's past it. It's before that. Hold up. Wait, yes. Wait, is it a federal prison? What the fuck? No! Yeah, they try to take my goodies. Oh no! Yes, I thought it was a correctional building. It said Department of something, so I was like, oh. Yeah, this motherfucker. Maya, this building, yes! Wait, is this a dangerous building? Bitch, I want this building. What is it? Oh, you not gonna tell me what you are, nigga? Oh, it's a women's federal business. Oh. Oh, wow. Motherfuckers got a Basquiat over here. There's a Basquiat in a Warhol next to a women's prison. Let's go. Yo, New York rocks. Right, back to history.
Giovanni de Verrazano
that was fire. Thank you for
and
that.
about 100
Oh
years
my
after
god.
that, Henry Hudson showed up, sailing for the Dutch, a nation that would soon set up shop.
Everybody getting this so far?
By 1624, the Dutch West India Company founded New Netherland as a fur trading colony.
Yes,
Governor
sir.
Peter Minuet would quote-unquote purchase Manhattan from the Lenape, although the Lenape didn't look at land ownership the same way that Europeans did.
I know.
The Dutch soon built their capital, New Amsterdam, at the southern tip of the island.
Yes, they did.
Good.
Good.
Great.
In the settlement, there were a few main roads, suitable for a diverse, bustling town built around a fort and marketplace. In the 1650s, the Dutch built a wall to guard against potential attacks.
Wall Street, Wall
and that's why the
Street.
site is called Wall Street today. However, the wall didn't do much, because in 1664, the British came in, and the colony was surrendered without major fighting.
Can't believe that didn't work.
I know, me neither.
Under British rule, Manhattan was renamed in honor of the Duke of York, and the settlement grew. By the mid-1700s, there were about 10,000 people here. In 1750, a country estate named Chelsea was built on Manhattan's west side, marking the start of what would eventually become the Chelsea neighborhood. Greenwich Village lay just to the south.
The south
known
of
for its
Chelsea.
winding
Okay.
roads and scattered
So then
farms.
meatpacking is that little triangle
During the
in
American
between Greenwich.
Revolution,
Okay,
the
that's
island
cute.
was crucial. Early in the war, Fort Washington
Yo,
was built
Daddy-O's,
in
we
Washington
learned
Heights
so much.
as part of a
I'm not
wider
gonna lie,
effort to
this is
guard
probably the
against
most
potential
educational
British
stream I've
invasion.
had.
And
like
right
a
after
month.
independence was declared, Brooklyn was lost to the British, but luckily
Aha,
George
British,
Washington
y'all
was
suck.
able to
Give me
cross
my
the
Brooklyn
East
back.
River under cover
Where
of fog
Brooklyn at?
and
Where
saved the Continental
Brooklyn at?
Army.
I got
That
7
is quite a
McElevens.
situation.
Yeah, I already know. I
However,
was about
they
to
were
go
quickly
in.
kicked off the island, and there was a massive fire. But with the Continentals out, the British made it their headquarters for the remainder of the war. After the Revolution, Manhattan was home to the first capital of the U.S., and by the 1800s,
Oh, I didn't know
the
that.
population had risen to
Oh,
about 60,000.
oh, I'm about to be the
Soon,
most
you'd have
ignorant
Robert
fucking
Fulton
American
launching the
ever.
first successful steamboat here, and Canal Street as an early northern boundary. In 1811, the Commissioner's Plan laid the groundwork for future growth in a rectangular grid system. Things were ripe for the 1825 completion of the Erie
Alright,
Canal,
so
which
just
had
line
major
that
effects
up,
on the
like,
port city.
Can I get a 90?
Warehouses and factories began
Yes.
appearing south of Houston Street, an area later
Ooh.
known as Soho.
Ooh,
and also in neighboring
let's
Tribeca.
go.
In 1831, NYU was founded, the same year the New York and Harlem Railroad began,
Oh,
which was the city's
shit.
first train. The line made it to the small farming community of Harlem by 1837. Sadly, there was a great fire around this time that destroyed
I
much
want
of
to
Lower
build
Manhattan.
an old map. Oh, I'm
However,
so hyped.
things were
Okay.
rebuilt, and in the 1840s
All right,
and 50s,
this is cute. I like the way
thousands
this
of
is
immigrants were
going.
arriving.
I think what
So
we'll do
you have the
here.
simultaneous emergence of nativist gangs in Chinatown. Later,
Uh-oh,
East
you
Village
know what that
grew
was
as a
about.
center of immigrant life, and
The
the growing
5
population was getting
points.
thirsty. So, in 1842, the original Croton Aqueduct was completed, engineered by John B. Jervis, who is a legend upstate where I grew up.
Is
He also
Oh,
helped
cute.
design the High Bridge, and to this day, it remains
Oh,
the city's
shit, I
oldest
live by
standing
there.
bridge. Then
Wait,
the
I
safety
do
pin
live by
was
there,
invented
yeah.
here. And in 1858, work began on Central Park. It wasn't the first park on the island, but it was the nation's first public landscaped one.
Yes, it
Insane
was.
Park Drive.
Damn.
During the Civil War, you have the New York draft riots and a rags-to-riches industrialist named Cornelius Vanderbilt buying up railroads. By 1869, he united 3 major rail lines and began building a Grand Central Depot on 42nd Street. This move accelerated the growth of Midtown, which was kind of a middle ground.
I'm sorry, I'm
between
geeking over
downtown
being in New York.
and
I'm
still
sorry.
sparse uptown, and it included neighborhoods like Murray Hill.
Fuck
By
Murray Hill.
1870, there were
But
over
since it's
1
a
million
classic,
people in
I have to now
Manhattan,
show respect.
as it absorbed wave after wave
Oh,
of
Kodiak! Daddy-O! Thank you for the raid.
political group that
What
gained
is good,
support from
Daddy-Os?
the
How are y'all
British.
doing
And this
out
helped
there?
people like William Boss
We are
Tweed
doing
rise to
education
great power in the
time
city.
while building
It's the kind of
in my
corruption
famous,
that might lead
I
someone
guess
to look
famous
for
New York
comfort.
City style.
And luckily,
Welcome,
a new
Daddy-Os.
cocktail called
Welcome,
the
welcome,
Manhattan
welcome.
was available.
Kodiak, how are you? Happy holidays.
In
Much
1879,
love.
Madison Square
Evil
Garden
Dr.
opened,
Pork Chop.
complete
Happy
with
to
the
see
only
you,
indoor
dude. Was
ice
good.
rink in the country.
And Mini Pocket
3 years after
Ass.
that,
Oh,
Thomas
Mini
Edison
Pocky Ass.
illuminated
Oh, that's
part of
actually.
Lower Manhattan,
Oh, that's a
which was
beautiful
another
name,
first.
like Mini Pacquiao. Oh, that's
In
dope.
1883, the Giants
Red and Gray.
baseball
I
team
didn't play
was
Arc
founded,
Raiders, dude.
playing
I
at the
want
Polo
to.
Grounds.
Should I play it?
Later, the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and football giants would
Oh
play
wait,
there as well.
Kodiak, was you playing Arc Raiders?
1883 was also when the Brooklyn
Dude,
Bridge opened.
I've been
It was the
contemplating
longest
playing.
suspension bridge in the world at the
God.
time, and later it would be joined
Daves,
by
thank
bridges
you.
such as the Williamsburg,
Ah.
Manhattan, Queensboro,
It's a
and
long
George
story.
Washington bridges.
Blame Jonah.
These things, give them time. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
The city's first skyscraper was the Tower Building in
Okay,
1889.
bet.
Structures like the Flatiron
Yo,
and
Kodiak,
Woolworth
get some
buildings would soon
sleep.
follow.
I think I
During
may
this
pick it
era,
up.
Elevated
I've been
railways
contemplating
became a
it,
thing,
so
and Theodore
thank
Roosevelt
you for
was
giving me
walking the
inspo,
streets as
Daddy-O. Much
police
love,
commissioner.
man. But
At
definitely
the turn
get
of the
sleep,
century,
Daddy-O.
Manhattan became one of
Thank
5
you for the
boroughs
raid
officially
again.
consolidated into the greater
To
New York
any of
City
my
that we know
Daddy-Os
today.
that was in here, please give the legendary Kodiak
The
to
city's
Kodiak
first subway line opened
a
in 1904,
beautiful follow.
the same year that the
And
New
then
York
go to
Times
his
building
YouTube and
was
like his
completed
stuff.
at what would become Times Square. Soon, a New Year's Eve ball
Right
drop
now,
tradition would
Daddy-Os,
begin
we are on
as a safer
education time,
alternative to
as I have
fireworks.
stated before.
Around 1905,
We're in the collab
Lombardi's
city of
opened
Buena
in
Vista
what was then
Village
Little Italy, becoming
with
the first
Wolf.
officially
This is
licensed
Wolf's side of the
pizzeria
bill.
in the U.S.
Right over
Meanwhile,
here.
the island's population continued to grow,
We have
with its highest
probably the
population
best
ever
fucking
at
dam
about 2.3
in the
million.
game.
In 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory
dude,
fire killed over 100 workers.
so fire.
Most of them young women,
It's
spurring
so
major
fire.
labor
Look at the steam.
reforms
Look at
and
the
workplace
steam.
safety laws. Around this time,
And then
Penn
this
Station
is my
and Grand
side over
Central
here
Terminal
where
were
I build
constructed, but
small
they later
towns,
demolished Penn Station
real
and
small
pretty
town
much threw it
vibes
under
here.
Madison Square Garden, where it is today.
Thanks for the
Oh, I just
During
noticed
World
I
War I
fucked
and
this
the
up.
Spanish flu, growth in
No
Manhattan
way.
paused briefly. However,
Yo, Wolf.
soon after that, the borough
Oh,
became
I must
known
have
as the Big
crashed.
Apple, a term
I
jockeys
lost
used
all of that.
for large
Oh,
prizes
no.
at horse races.
Now that indeed is a
Oh
remarkable piece
no.
of information to have at your fingertips.
It was the roaring
Dude,
20s.
I
when the
forgot
Harlem
all about
Renaissance
that crash.
flourished with a
I
burst
had
of
all of this
creativity
built
and
out, by the
cultural
way.
impact. 1924
Yes, small
was the
towns,
first Macy's
small towns.
Thanksgiving Day parade.
Big towns.
And 2 years
Big
after
towns
that,
poppin'.
we have the New York
Big
Rangers
things
and
are on.
NBC, the first national radio network.
Let's go.
I'll bet your Mr. Sawyer doesn't know this.
Bayview Correctional
Great
Facility was a
Depression
medium-sized
would hit New York
security
hard,
women's prison
but it didn't
located in the
stop
south
the
corner of West
construction of
20th Street
skyscrapers.
and 11th
You
Avenue.
have the
Yes,
Chrysler
yes,
Building
yes.
in 1930,
All right, but
and
yeah, that
Empire
is
State
exactly the
Building
one
a
I'm
year later,
talking about.
the world's
Did not
tallest
know it
upon
was an
completion.
actual correction facility.
You also have the rising of
So fucking
Rockefeller
interesting.
Center, and with it, the humble beginnings of a Christmas tree tradition started by workers as a symbol of hope during the Depression.
Oh.
Then there's World War II and a Manhattan Project, not actually in Manhattan. And
So
then
then
the
why would you
Knicks,
mention it?
Met Gala, and headquarters of the UN. During the 50s and 60s, Broadway held its place as the heart of American theater,
4, 6,
and on the Upper
7,
West Side, Lincoln Center rose as a cultural
2,
hub.
4, 6.
You kidding?
Maybe
Lincoln
here,
Center, Alice Tully Hall, the Met. Magnificent facilities.
In 1969, patrons at Manhattan's Stonewall Inn fought back against a police raid, which spurred the modern movement for sexual minority rights. Then you have the New York City Marathon.
Maya, you put us onto
and
that
Twin
earlier.
Towers
Let's
becoming
go.
the new tallest structures on Earth. In the 70s and 80s, Manhattan struggled with financial instability and crime.
All right.
But it also became a hub for art and counterculture. Studio 54 opened in 1977, and that same year, the I Heart NY logo was designed as part of a campaign to promote tourism.
Yes.
This is New York City. Nobody loves anything that much.
Donald Trump was busy reshaping Manhattan real estate, and in
we
1987,
don't talk about him.
the movie Wall Street was playing in theaters, while the real Wolf of Wall Street was starting his career here.
It's his first day on Wall Street. Give him time.
In 1993, a truck bomb went off at the World Trade Center, and
That was
later,
unfortunate.
on 9/11, terrorists completely destroyed the towers, leading to a global shift
Damn,
in
dude, you gotta
security.
give the history like that. Can we not?
Fast
take
forward to
the
2014, when One World Trade Center opened, symbolizing resilience and renewal.
True, but like still,
But before
dude,
that, you have
just made me
Occupy
really
Wall
depressed.
Street and the completion of the High Line Elevated Park.
Yes. We
Then
can talk about that
COVID
though.
hit, and the city has pretty much been rebounding ever
I'm
since.
trying to think.
Today, Manhattan has an awesome balance of old and new.
I don't know what I want this. To,
It's larger
this
than life.
over here to be. I'm walking here.
A place where anything can happen.
I don't want it
And
to
there's
be
so
back
much more to say about it.
round. Let me see something here.
In my heart of hearts, I'm an upstate boy. But I do have a big soft spot for Manhattan. When I moved downstate in 2013, I used to love going down to the city and riding my bike around.
Oh,
And I
dude,
go
you're
back every
cringing
chance
me.
I get.
You're gonna make me hate you.
And
The
if you look
city,
closely at the
mother.
place, you can still find traces of glaciers, the Lenape, and everything in between.
All right.
You finished?
But because you geek over it, I'm gonna let you rock.
That's it.
I'm gonna let you rock, dude.
Have a good one.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Much love. That was actually a really fucking great video. Hold up. That was actually really dope. The High Line. Yes. Wait, seriously? No, Maya, don't. No! Give me the history, yes, but make me sad. Oh, actually, I watched this before. Let's watch this.
This bridge
I'm in
should
history
never have been
mode
this
right now.
hard to build. 14 miles of water between New York
But
and New England.
damn.
That's it. This is the Long
Wait, you
Island
mean the
Sound
original
crossing.
High Line, not the
For
new
70
High
years,
Line, not the
experts
park,
have called
right?
it impossible,
Please.
too expensive, too
Please,
controversial,
please,
too
please,
complicated.
Maya's
If you
like,
live
no,
on Long
motherfucker,
Island
that
and want to
part-
drive to Connecticut,
that
Rhode
part was
Island, or
built in
Boston,
backs of
just
us.
across the water,
I
there
can
is
already
still
feel it.
no direct way. You can either
Damn.
pay for a ferry or crawl for 3 hours through some of the most congested roads in America. The designs are done. The engineering is proven, but every single attempt has died before a shovel touched the ground.
Yeah, tell me
And
why.
here's the
dude.
crazy part. Other states have already built longer links in worse conditions for a fraction of this price. So why is this 14-mile gap still empty? Today, we're going inside New York's $55 billion plan to finally connect Long Island to New England and the uncomfortable reasons it keeps failing.
Uncomfortable. It ain't really uncomfortable,
Long Island
motherfucker. It's
has
a
a
budget
problem.
thing. And those
This is
people
Long
there
Island.
have money, so
Nassau
like
and Suffolk
they
counties
can
alone are
dictate
home
what
to
the
nearly
fuck they
3
want to live
million
by.
people, more than
I'm
half
being
the
honest, if I
population of
lived out there, I
Chicago
don't want no
and larger
fucking
than
bridge
15 US
for more
states.
detours and
It
businesses
is also
to grow
one of the
up
most
and fuck up
isolated
my
major
shit.
population centers
that,
in
bro.
America. Every single road connection to the mainland goes through New York City. There is no other way out. For
Why
a
do you say
century,
like
this
that?
gap
These
divided the
motherfuckers got
region.
choice.
Long Island developed as a suburban bedroom community for New York City because that was the only place it could easily reach. Central Connecticut remained rural and underdeveloped because it had no connection to the wealth of Long Island or New York.
Oh, I
Today, those
definitely
same
will
bridges
see.
that connect
I
Long
will-
Island to the
I
mainland have
will
become
watch
the worst bottleneck in the Northeast. The Throgs Neck, the Whitestone,
Honestly,
Together, they
it's
carry
only
over
like an hour long,
400,000
too.
vehicles per day.
I may be able
During
to,
rush hour,
I don't know,
a
I
trip
may
from
be
Long
able to
Island
watch
to
it today.
Connecticut that should
I'm
take 20
high,
minutes
so
takes 3
I think that's
hours.
something I want to watch a little bit more
The
sober.
only alternative is a ferry. It runs once an hour,
Yes, baby.
takes
Can you put it
75
on our
minutes
list,
across,
babes?
and costs over
It's called The
$150
Show.
round trip
It's an
per
HBO
vehicle.
documentary.
To drive from Bridgeport, Connecticut to Port Jefferson, Long Island, a straight line distance of 14 miles, you must drive
No!
95 miles
about this?
through New York City. But there's an
Shit,
even
where the
darker
fuck is
problem. In October 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit New York.
Yeah.
Long Island residents were told to evacuate, but there was only one way out.
And
through
they died. I mean,
New York
They
City.
didn't die. Let me not say that.
The highways became parking lots. Thousands of people couldn't evacuate in time. Over 40 people died in New York
Oh,
during the
fuck.
storm.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Scientists project that by 2040, Category 4 hurricanes will regularly threaten the Northeast.
Yes, dude.
When the next big one comes, millions of people will have the same single escape route they had in 2012. Across these 14 miles. On paper, the case is obvious. In reality, that's where the trouble starts. The idea of bridging Long Island Sound is not new. In 1955, Robert Moses, the man who built the
fuck Robert
Verrazano,
Moses.
the Triborough, the Bronx Whitestone,
All my niggas hate Robert
proposed
Moses.
a 6-mile bridge from Oyster Bay, Long Island, to Rye,
Oyster is
New
dick
York.
in your face. That's why you fucking dead.
Moses
you
had
stupid
built
fuck.
every major bridge in New York. If anyone could do
You
this,
legitimately
he could.
destroyed the
But
infrastructure. in New
coastal
York.
residents on both sides
Stupid
erupted. They didn't want the traffic.
hope
They
your
didn't want
kids
their
are
views
fucking
ruined.
sick, dude.
They didn't want change.
I don't want them to be like
By
dead. You
1973,
deserve to
after
die, but
nearly
your kids
2
need to be
decades
sick.
of fighting, the federal government killed the plan. But the idea kept coming back. In the 1980s, the 1990s, the 2000s, each time new studies, new proposals,
Yes.
new cost estimates. Moses' original proposal would have cost about $800 million in today's dollars.
Damn,
By
that's so cheap.
1975, a multi-bridge scheme came in at about $1.4 billion.
Eesh.
By 2008, a private tunnel proposal from developer Vincent
Alright,
Polomeni was
that's
priced
cool,
at $10 to
that's
$13
cool.
billion.
We'll make some grass.
And in
then
2017, when New York's
we have to
latest
push back
WSP feasibility
this
study modeled bridge, tunnel, and hybrid was completed,
over
$55
here.
billion.
Yo, it's hella people. over
WSP
here,
spent
too.
months analyzing 3
And to
different
be
routes across
honest,
the
the
Sound.
tram
They studied wind patterns,
here.
shipping lanes, environmental impact,
I think
seismic
we
activity,
may end up
construction
needing another
logistics.
tram. Wolf is
And
gonna
they
be like, what the
concluded,
fuck, 40?
Yes,
But
it
yeah, if I
could
can
be
put
built,
another tram
but
here,
it would be the
connect
most
the
expensive
tram
bridge in
exchange,
American history.
and then join the rest of the tram. Oh, that'd create
WSP
so much
proposed
traffic.
3 designs. First, an all-bridge solution. 6
think I'm
lanes,
gonna have to borrow-
cable-stayed
bother
towers
Wolf,
rising
though. I
340
think what we
meters,
need
taller than any
is,
building in
one,
Connecticut.
this pillar should not be
Foundations
there.
anchored 100 feet below the seabed. The deck spanning 14
Wolf,
miles
are you still in
across
chat?
open water. It would rank among the longest overwater crossings in the Western Hemisphere. Cost
Oh, hi, Wolf.
$16.5
Wait,
billion.
hearing about the High Line is one of the reasons I
Second,
became
an
fascinated
all-tunnel
with how in the
solution.
early 20th
Twin
century
bores
there
carved
was
by
all this
tunnel
rail
boring machines the
infrastructure for
size of
delivering goods
commercial
directly to
airplanes,
city centers,
running 150
supply all
feet
these
below
big
the
department
seabed.
stores to supply.
3 lanes,
High
in each
Line
direction,
actually went
with
straight into a
emergency
second
cross
story.
passages every
Oh,
500
wait.
feet. It would be deeper
Doctor.
and longer than-
I'm gonna have you look at this building right here. I legitimately modeled some of this building off of like the way I positioned it and the way I was like, oh, these belong together, because I work in that building that the High Line went through. So yes, dude, it's so fucking fire, bro. So fucking fire, dude. It was one of the best things ever. Fucking New York City had double-decker fucking subways, bro. Elevated L trains, I call them subways too, but elevated L trains that was double-decker with stacked rail bridges. Bro, motherfucker. We've watched some of those videos already, and like, it's history. Dude. So yeah, that's kind of what this area is supposed to be, like Williamsburg, Chelsea type of vibes. I'm trying to mix the old and the new at the same time. But yes, so dope. What the fuck, 40? No, not in chat. Wait, not in chat? Nani? Oh, you're not in chat. Damn. Sad faces. Giuliani in the 6th precinct was influential in the... and we already know what the fuck he did. Yeah. Yeah. And then what they did, turn that
Then the
area
Channel
into a
Tunnel
fucking
between
playground,
England and France
a tourist trap,
cost
and took
over
all of its real
$55 billion.
history away. Yeah.
Third,
I
a
like
hybrid.
this building.
The same design
Let me see,
Virginia
come here.
used when
I
they
like
bridged
you.
Chesapeake
I
Bay
really like you.
in
Give me.
1964. Bridge approaches on shallow water near both shores. Then the road dips into a tunnel beneath the deep central shipping channel before rising back
Like
to
that.
a bridge on the other side. This design preserves shipping lanes,
then,
reduces the number of tall towers,
What
and
I want to
minimizes
do
visual
over here
impact.
is, let me grab a park.
It's also proven technology. Virginia's version has operated
Parks and
flawlessly for 60 years.
Recreation.
Cost $35 to $40
Campfires,
billion.
ooh, Dockland.
On paper, any of these would work. The engineering is proven, the designs are sound. WSP concluded the project was technically feasible. So, in 2018, New York and Connecticut had everything they needed. A proven design,
Now
a
this
clear
goes
cost estimate,
above what we
a
were
path
trying
forward.
to do.
And then, nothing happened.
No.
Why? Ask anyone why the Long Island Sound crossing hasn't been built, and you'll get three answers. First, the environment. Long Island Sound took 40 years and $4 billion to clean up.
Yeah.
In the 1970s, it was so
It
polluted
works
you
better
couldn't swim in it.
right there.
Construction
Oh, dude,
would dredge
we got a
millions
nice
of
little
cubic yards of
waterfront
sediment.
park
Pile
happening.
driving would disrupt fish spawning grounds.
Okay.
Second,
Okay.
local
Yo, if I can
communities.
get more old buildings
Connecticut's
that look like
Gold
a
Coast,
fort,
Fairfield,
maybe we
Westport,
switch this
Darien
up to a little
is
bit
some
of a
the
Dumbo
wealthiest real
vibe.
estate in America.
Because this reminds me of the
Median home
area
prices
next to
exceed
Soho
$1 million.
House on Water
These residents
Street.
don't want a
And I could put
340
like
meter
more
bridge
brick
tower
buildings
visible
around
from their
it to like
backyards.
elevate it to make it look
On
like
the
an
Long Island
older
side,
fort.
Port Jefferson
Like
residents fear the
repurposed. Oh, we
opposite
may
problem.
end up doing that.
That Connecticut commuters would turn their quiet village into a highway rest stop. At
Have
public
you seen
hearings
those
in
old photos of New
2018,
York trams
residents on
stop
both
underneath
sides
one of the
showed up in
transfer
force,
elevated stations?
United in opposition.
Off the back of my head, I can't remember.
Politics.
We were just
Connecticut
watching a
Governor
video
Ned
on
Lamont.
trams. But
On
if you
October
have a
14,
link or video you
2025,
want us to
he was
watch,
asked about the bridge
send it our
proposal.
way. They
Incredibly
cleaned up the
complicated,
village but left
supremely
LES.
expensive.
Yeah.
Translation, we're not
Dude,
paying for
I
it.
am gonna be honest.
And New York,
that Delancey
they've been
Essex train
strategically
station, I
vague,
hate that shit, bro.
offering polite
Anytime
nods and
I
press
go to a
releases,
speakeasy
but
called
total
Amar
silence when it
Yamago
comes to
right by
writing
Tompkins
checks.
Square Park. And
The answer might have
anytime
less to do
when
with
I
the
like I
environment,
have it
the
like that and
residents, or
I
the
go out there to
politicians,
have like
and
$80
more
worth
to
of
do
drinks.
with profits.
When I come home, I used to live
Every
in East
day,
New York on the
hundreds of
J line.
thousands of Long Island commuters
Dude, I
pass
will
through
feel a
these
certain
toll
type of way.
plazas.
And I used to work
These crossings
in
are
Nolita,
operated by
so
the
like,
Metropolitan
dude, I
Transportation
always felt
Authority,
a certain
the
type of way because I'm
MTA,
like, yo,
and they
these
generate
niggas will stab
enormous
me with
revenue.
a needle. If these
In
niggas touch me, I will
2024,
be so
the
fucking
MTA
upset.
collected $2.3 billion in bridge and tunnel tolls.
So yeah,
An estimated
dude,
$1.2 billion of that came from Long Island commuters who have no other
Oh,
choice.
my bad. I'm like in my
Now
head
imagine
now.
a
I'm
Long
like kind
Island
of fucked
Sound crossing
mentally
opens.
about that.
Traffic studies
And
estimate
it sucks because that
60% of
area had
Connecticut
so
bound
much
traffic will
culture and
divert
shit,
to the
bro.
new bridge.
Oh man,
That's $700 million per year in
that's
lost
why like
revenue.
when I do the Brooklyn
Over
series,
30
that
years,
shit make me feel
the
a certain
typical
type
lifespan
of
of
way, bro.
infrastructure bonds,
Because it's like
that's
fuck,
$21
bro.
billion.
But it
Over
needs to
50
get out
years,
there some way
$35
somehow.
billion.
So you know, the work must be
Meanwhile,
done.
New York
You
has
feel me?
spent billions on other transportation projects.
And I can't
Second Avenue
wait.
Subway, $4.5 billion.
I'm trying to release another
East Side
video.
Access,
Not by
$11
next week, the
billion.
week after.
Penn Station rebuild,
And then
$7
we'll have the
billion
new series
planned.
popping.
All
Ah.
projects that bring people into
All
Manhattan.
right, so
None that let them bypass it. But there's
let me
one
see.
place
Do I
that
want to
broke
put
this
something like
cycle,
right
and
here?
it might show us the
Can
way
I do
forward.
some stores right? Ah,
400
actually,
miles
yeah.
south of Long Island,
There's some
there's a
northeast
bridge that shouldn't
commercial
exist.
assets.
This is the
That'll work
Chesapeake
out
Bay Bridge
so
Tunnel
fucking
in
good
Virginia. A 23-mile
These,
fixed link connects the
right?
Norfolk, Virginia beach region to the Delmarva
Let me get
Peninsula.
a level 5. Do
When
we have a
construction
level 5
began in
for this?
1960,
Oh.
critics called it insane.
Oh yes.
23 miles across
Yes.
open water, 60% longer than Long Island Sound. The Chesapeake faced everything Long Island does
Let's
and worse.
go.
The critics said it would be a financial disaster,
The
that no one would
critics
use
said-
it, that the tolls would never repay the bonds. They built it
No,
anyway.
see,
On
I
April
like
15,
this version
1964,
better.
the Chesapeake Bay
This
Bridge
version
Tunnel
is
opened
too
after
fucking
less
modern
than
for
4
me.
years of
Like
construction.
it's not. No, but you know what?
Cost
We can make that art
$200
gallery
million,
then, right? Why the fuck
about
not?
$2 billion in today's dollars. Long Island's hybrid design, $35
What about-
billion.
Oh yes.
That's 17 times more expensive per mile. Today, it carries 4 million vehicles vehicles per year, It paid off its bonds within 15 years, and here's the ultimate vindication. In 2025, Virginia is spending $757 million to expand it. But Virginia isn't the only place that proved impossible bridges can be built.
Then let's get a pocket
This
park.
next bridge was
Oh,
designed by
all
the
right.
same
I'm
man
feeling
who
this
wanted to
area
build
right
Long
now,
Island
dude.
Sound,
I am feeling this
Robert
area.
Moses.
Pocket park, take off
In the
this.
1950s and 60s, Moses proposed
We had
two
trolleys,
massive
not
bridges.
trams, and we
One
have the
connecting
Murder Street
Brooklyn
Station
to
was
Staten
one of them.
Island. The other connecting Long Island to Connecticut.
Yo,
Same
you know
designer,
what?
same
Oh, what's
era,
that? Oh, let
similar
me see that.
opposition. When Moses announced the Verrazano, Brooklyn erupted.
Oh
800
yeah, no, this is
families
not. That's a
displaced.
trolley.
The Save Bay Ridge
Yeah, that's
Association
considered a
sued
trolley.
repeatedly. Brooklyn
This,
officials called him
am
a
I
dictator.
bugging?
But Moses
Yo,
had
we
something
watched
Long
this.
Island
This is
supporters
actually
don't.
on the
He
video.
was chairman
All
of the
right,
Triborough
Dadios,
Bridge and Tunnel
we'll watch
Authority,
that video
an
one more
independent
time.
authority with power
Maya,
to
we'll
issue
watch it
bonds,
one more time.
condemn
That's
land,
actually a really
and
dope video
override local
anyway.
objections
We'll
without
watch it
mayoral
after this
or
one.
gubernatorial approval.
Evil Doctor,
Construction
we'll watch
began
it
in
right after, bro. It's a really
The
dope
bridge opened
video,
on
bro.
November 21st, 1964.
Oh,
on schedule,
you know,
on budget.
I guess
Today
you could
it carries
say
200,000
they're a similar
vehicles per
concept.
day.
I guess you could say they're the same
Moses
things.
tried to use the same authority for Long Island
Yeah,
Sound.
because even the
But by
trolleys
the
in San
1970s,
Francisco, we now call them
environmental
trams.
laws had changed.
Yeah, you know
The
what?
Clean
Thank you for
Water
that.
Act,
I didn't think
the
about
National
it like that.
Environmental
Yeah.
Policy Act. His power wasn't enough anymore, and the project died. So, is the Long Island Sound crossing dead forever?
All right.
Not necessarily, because there are 3 ways this bridge could still be built, and each one has precedent. In 2025, Connecticut developer Stephen
Here
Shapiro
we go. I
revived
think
the
this is
idea
good.
of a
I like
14-mile
this.
bridge from Bridgeport to Long Island with an
And then
estimated
we'll put
cost
a
around
park
$50 billion.
right here.
He's pitching
So
the
then
Long
let's go
Island
to the
Sound
pocket
crossing
park.
directly to President Trump, not as a New York project, not as a Connecticut project, as federal infrastructure. But there's a second path, one that doesn't depend on any president.
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker.
What if New York and Connecticut created their own Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel District?
Ooh,
A bi-state authority
ooh.
with one mission: build the bridge. Instead of needing approval from 7 different entities, the authority makes
Fuck
one decision
them
and moves
entities.
forward. And there's the third option, one that
What's
might
that?
be
The
smarter
white
than
tiles?
building a
We
bridge
can
at
do
all.
white tiles here, right?
Instead of cars, trains. A 16-mile rail tunnel connecting Long Island's LIRR to Connecticut's Shoreline East
LIRR?
and
You
Metro
can say
North.
double R, motherfucker.
Then onward to Hartford, Providence, Boston. Travel time from Long Island to Boston would drop from 5 to 6 hours to 2.5 hours.
That's actually
And
insane.
It would cost half as much.
Taking a bus out there, bro,
Modern tunnel boring
sucks.
technology, the kind
Or
used on
driving
London's
out there
Crossrail and the Gothard Base Tunnel,
sucks.
has dropped costs dramatically. A rail tunnel could be built for $15 to $25 billion. The thing is, Americans' confidence in rail megaprojects has been shaken. California high-speed rail was supposed to cost $33 billion. It's now over $100 billion and still
Yeesh.
not operational. So which path actually happens? As of December 2025, Shapiro's Trump pitch is the most active. He's
Alright.
meeting with federal transportation officials, presenting at industry
There we
conferences,
go.
building momentum.
All right, Dadios.
If Trump designates it a
Fuck
priority
around
in
with the
2026,
fuck around.
federal funding could flow by 2027.
Fuck around with the
Groundbreaking
fuck
could happen in
around.
his second term. After that,
And then
the
we
window
will
closes.
grab this
The next
surface over
president
here.
might not care. Connecticut's governor might change. For 70 years, the Long Island Sound Crossing has been the bridge that exists everywhere except in reality. On paper, it solves some of the worst congestion in the Northeast. It gives millions of people faster access to jobs, hospitals, and schools. It offers a genuine evacuation route for an island facing stronger storms. Technically, it can be built. Other places already have. The difference isn't engineering.
Beautiful.
It's power.
Oh my god.
Those impossible projects
my
have 3 things Long Island still doesn't: federal backing, a dedicated authority, and the political will
Let's
to actually break
go.
ground. What do you think? Is a Long Island Sound crossing an impossible dream or a deliberate failure of politics? And if you had
Deliberate
to
failure
choose
of
between a
politics.
$55 billion highway tunnel and a
And rich
rail
people.
first tunnel under the Sound, which one should be built first? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the
then
mega
I
projects
think over
reshaping
here,
our world,
wait,
make
we
sure
had
you're
horsepower-
subscribed
yeah.
to Mega Builds.
Interesting. Alright, so wait, this is what we're going to do. I had it saved, but we can just type in double decker New York City. Here we go. Wait, oh damn, we watched both of them. Dude, wait, they did two. Oh, this is the one 3 weeks ago. Wait, nigga, wait, what did you do to me? Why did... Alright, let's watch this one. They're the same. Why would you do this?
If you lived in New York City in the early 1900s, right as the subway age was beginning, you almost certainly heard in newspapers that the future of mass transit wasn't just underground. It was in the form of stacked train carriages. Reports described bizarre experimental rail cars with 2 decks, promising to increase capacity, but without the need to renovate existing structures. In fact, the notion got out of hand as transit commissioners floated sketches of elevated trains with up to 3 tiers of passenger space. These future prototypes were a magnificent idea. Cars with long central stairwells, interior mezzanines, and split-level seating. And these drawings weren't just fantasies. They were serious proposals, debated in newspapers from the New York Times to the World and of course the New York
let's
Herald.
come over here with some details.
Engineers were scrambling to find a solution to the same problem New York faces today. Too many riders and not enough space. But here's the strange part. Even with public support, political momentum, and real engineering trials, New York never built a true 2-story passenger car. Rather, they created this, the Shadbelly car, which admittedly from a distance does resemble a double-decked wagon. So where did they go wrong? Why didn't New York ever truly utilize stacked elevated
Why is it that we gotta be wrong? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, SoCash, you're, as much as you talk about New York, you do be hating on New York.
I'm your
a
host,
lot.
Ryan SoCash, and you're watching.
I know you're a Chicagoan, or I think that's what y'all probably call. You better
ever
behave.
considered stacking passengers on 2 or even 3 levels, the city faced a far more basic challenge: how to move millions of people through Manhattan without choking the streets. By the late 19th century, the avenues were already crowded with horses, cable railways, and primitive elevated lines that clattered overhead, and every solution only revealed a deeper problem. New York was growing faster than its transit system could handle.
That is true.
Though, to understand why double-decker trains even came into the discussion in the first place, we need to go back a little further, to the 1880s and 1890s, when the first serious subway proposals appeared. Newspapers from that time often published speculative diagrams of future railways, and it wasn't unusual to see illustrations that looked more like architectural fantasies than actual transport plans. For example, engineers imagined multi-level tunnels, elevated tracks rising in tiers, or cars built with raised galleries and sunken central aisles. Whereas newspapers like The World published diagrams showing new rail profiles and how they could attempt to fit more people into narrow rights of way. These were early indications that multi-level rolling stock might someday be necessary. Hence, at that point, the idea wasn't absurd. New York's rights of way were already
We need
constrained.
to get a gag
Office
order on
towers
him.
climbed higher every year, meaning the rail lines.
You know what's crazy?
Tunnels, street
I
level,
just
or
need more New
overhead
Yorkers,
couldn't
and
expand
I'm
out,
one of them,
rather
to
only
just do
upward
this
or downward.
ourselves.
To make matters worse,
We need to
early
use
subway
the
planners
availability
knew
we
that
have
once the first line
of the
opened,
city we live
it would
in
be
to actually
overwhelmed
do these
almost
things.
immediately. A notion that naturally led engineers to the thought that the
Or
only
if they
sustainable
exist,
long-term
I just need people to
solution was
share them
build
with me.
cars that carried
So I
more
can promote more of
passengers
their stuff.
vertically rather than horizontally. As the debates intensified, the press began citing foreign precedents.
That's
since
actually
Europe had
huge.
already experimented with double-decker
Oh, wait.
tramcars.
Daddy-O's,
as
give me a
far back
second.
as the
Eyes.
1860s. Paris operated some 2-tier omnibuses, and London's railways had briefly
It's not
tested
gonna light
the
up?
so-called garden set.
You're not gonna
which
light
featured
up?
upper decks on a steam-era subterranean train. And all of this
Oh, 'cause
begs
there's
the
no
question,
company there?
If other global capitals have found
You
ways to stack
motherfuckers, y'all better
passengers
company
effectively,
there.
why shouldn't New York? But then came
All
the
right,
turning
eyes.
point, the
I'm so
development
mad.
of New
I
York
thought that
City's
building was gonna light
first
up.
true subway. Founded
Hold
through
up.
the Rapid Transit Act
I'm
and
so high right
contracted
now.
to the newly formed Interborough Rapid Transit Company. Now, as we previously mentioned,
IRT.
even before these lines opened in 1904, the city recognized that the network would operate beyond capacity. Reports emerged describing how certain stations, particularly along the Broadway extension, might eventually require rolling stock capable of carrying far more riders than a standard elevated coach. In fact, projections suggested that by the 1910s, morning ridership would overwhelm platforms entirely, not to mention the trains, and that the narrow tunnels under Manhattan would prevent any meaningful expansion. Nothing could grow wider. And of course, these facts brought the city planners back
I agree,
to the
but
same
then we have to
reality.
hear it in
Upward
Ebonics of the
expansion was the only realistic possibility.
Nah, you know what's
So from
crazy?
there, multi-level cars reappeared in meeting notes.
You know what's crazy?
engineering
Let's
sketches,
get some
and
Ebonics up in
public
here.
hearings.
You know what I'm saying?
Illustrations in the heralds
Yo,
of
my
the time
G. So
showed
like,
proposals with
what happened
internal
was
staircases, raised
they
upper
put the
seating
trains,
platforms,
subway
and
shit that work by
sunken
electricity.
lower levels
They
positioned
put that shit
between
above
the wheel
ground.
trucks.
You know
A
when
few
you go to
planning
Bushwicks
documents even
or like when
quoted
you go to
more ambitious
Williamsburg,
visions.
you high as
Elevated
fuck and
train
you
lines
walk and you like,
carrying
oh, why that shit
triple-tier
look like a train
trains,
track?
with each
Yeah, that
level
used to be a train
theoretically
track, my
able to
nigga.
load
You feel me?
independently.
So
But
like, I'm
while
telling
the
you,
ideas
yo,
grew more
son,
and more
it was
extravagant,
insane, bro.
the city's
I
practical
think they called that
experiments
like
went in a
an
very different
electrical
direction,
conduit
a
something
more
train,
realistic
you know?
direction. In particular,
But like regardless,
car
it runs on
builders tested
electricity. You
things
feel me?
like extended
And like, yo, we in
underframes,
North America,
unusual
like
roof
United
profiles,
States, so it's
and
AC,
modified
not DC.
seating patterns.
Like,
The
fuck
result
that
was
DC
the
shit.
Shadbelly car.
Or is
a
it
single-deck
DC?
coach
Nigga,
with a
I don't know.
rounded
We just got
midsection
different
that
plugs.
bulged outwards slightly above the
Like
frame.
that?
It
Or
wasn't
like,
truly
I don't know.
double
I can
deck, but
probably.
from a distance,
I think that was a
it
little
hinted
too
at
hood.
the layered
That was probably a
geometry
little too
of a
hood.
stacked train. This resemblance was enough
All right.
that some New
I'm
Yorkers
liking his
believed the
vibe.
city was edging closer
And I
to
think
a
what I
true
wanna do over
two-level
here-
design. Even though the Shadbelly car existed mainly
Is
just
it
to
a
squeeze
mixed
a few
use
extra
or is it
seats
a-
into the existing loading gauge. So
You see this
despite
here
the
type
bold
shit,
headlines
son? You
and
feel me?
exotic
Like-
sketches, New York's multi-level dream.
Like, bro, how
never
the fuck you
escaped
don't even
the
know
planning
about
game.
that? You,
The Shadbelly cars
yo, you
were first
bugging,
introduced on the
son.
2nd and 3rd Avenue elevated
You
lines.
should have known about
routes
that,
with
bro.
the heaviest rush
I
hour
can't be
loading
teaching you
and
everything,
narrow L
you feel me?
structures
Like,
that limited any
you gotta learn for
significant
yourself,
widening
son.
of
Like,
the
come on
cars.
now.
These were routes with the heaviest rush hour loading, as well as narrow L
I like this
structures that
building here.
limited any further
I think I
growth.
used the wrong
The new
building.
vehicles maintained the same length and truck spacing as existing elevated cars, but their midsections were reshaped to extend outward within the structural constraints. And that odd-looking bulge provided just enough interior width to accommodate extra seats inside a wider center passageway. Conductors
This-
noticed the difference immediately. The cars loaded
Alright.
faster. Boarding crowds didn't jam the aisles
Beautiful.
as quickly, and standees spreaded more evenly rather than clustering around the doors. On the 3rd Avenue Express, which carried some of the densest ridership in the city at that time, the Shadbelly cars became the preferred vehicle for peak service, simply because of how they handled crowds more efficiently.
you.
Furthermore, their reliability also made them appealing for joint operations that followed dual contracts. You see, when the Interborough Rapid Transit Company began coordinating service
Yo,
on
look
the
at the
elevated lines,
people!
the Shadbelly cars were added
My
to the fleet
fucking
because
God!
they could operate anywhere.
My
the old
God!
Manhattan L cars went. They fit the platforms, cleared the curbs, and didn't overstress the aging steelwork. And for a brief moment, these cars symbolized the high-capacity future of the elevated network. Service planners
Dude,
even
oh my
considered
God, the
ordering more
walking
of them,
porn
as
has me
ridership
right
grew
now.
into the 1910s.
Look at them
But
just
like
use the
anything
place
else with this
up.
network, the more the city used them,
Look at. Oh, wait,
clearer
wait.
their
Were they
limits
coming
became.
from the tram?
The extra interior
Wait a
space
second.
they
Wait
offered
a
was
second.
modest. Even
Wait
with
a
the wider
second.
midsection, the cars couldn't really
Yes.
accommodate the surge
Oh,
of
and they just
passengers
walk in the 3 or
flooding
4
into the city after
blocks.
World War I. And
Yes.
by then, not wider.
Oh, look
higher
at that.
runs
We are
was
good at this game,
Meanwhile,
Daddios.
new
We
steel
are
subways
good at this
were heavier,
game.
safer, and fully
They made it
enclosed,
more better.
again
Yo, they made it
changing
more better.
expectations of what modern urban
Better.
railways
You know,
should
no,
look
more
like.
better.
Just
Better.
like that,
Like, come on.
as the system around them moved
How you gonna tell me how to say better?
Shadbelly all but disappeared overnight, taking the fantasy of New York's double-decker train carriages along with them.
All right.
Today, almost no physical traces.
Though,
of the
to be
Shadbelly
honest,
cars
I
remain.
put
This
these
is
houses
at least
here.
in part because the lines.
Oh,
that
these
once
are
carried them
businesses. Yeah, you
also
know, we keep that.
disappeared.
We
The
keep
First
that. And then I
Avenue
do
line
row
was
houses
raised
on the
in
other side.
1924. The
We got
second,
Farmers Market.
1942,
Oh, this is
finally,
actually
the Third
becoming a
Avenue line
vibe.
in 1955, and hence this specialized.
Let's
wooden
do
rolling
some
stock
artwork on
went
this
away
here
with them.
so
And
that,
sadly,
like, this doesn't
the
look
carriages
bare.
themselves were also entirely unsuited for resale in other cities. You see, these cars were built to the unique
Right,
narrow
better.
clearances
Exactly,
of New York's
better,
L system.
better.
And no other American city really used that profile. So one by one, the cars were taken out of service and stripped down. Frames were sold to scrap dealers, whereas the bodies, which were mostly made of yellow pine and white oak, were dismantled in the yards along the Harlem River. Some were burned completely. Others were broken apart so that the metal fittings within them could be recovered for wartime salvage.
There we
By
go.
the 1950s, nearly all of them had
Look,
been reduced to parts, melted down, or sold off
Look,
the
yo,
road.
look
Though
at
it should be
them.
noted that a
They
few
all,
pieces of the
because they're
carriages have
connected.
survived by accident rather than deliberate
Let's
preservation.
fucking
Items like
go!
isolated window frames, destination boards, and gate
Connect
hardware.
your
Sometimes
fucking
appear in private
assets
collections,
together. As long
and
as
were
there are
usually
cones
removed
there,
decades ago
they're
from
now
demolition
using this
sites
as an
by
invisible
transit
fucking
workers who
pathway.
appreciated their
Luke!
sentimental value. However, beyond that,
We'll sit here.
photographs
No,
remain.
we're gonna sit
But
here.
You can help
We
keep
will
the
sit
story
here and
alive
watch
by
this
sharing
porn.
this video with a friend. Otherwise,
will
I thank you for
Yo,
watching.
Ryan Socash,
Until
thank
next
you.
time, I'm Ryan
Thank you,
Socash,
thank you.
signing off.
Do we have any videos on New York City trolleys? How about that? This is for Evil Pork Chop right here. Let's see, what do we have? Oh! Oh! Evil Pork Chop, if you're still in here, Daddy, well, Evil Dr. Pork Chop. They better be woken. Yeah, they better be woken. Let's fucking go. Here you go,
New York
Evil.
City
This is for
the
you,
key
Daddy-O.
to an urban
Here, let me
onion.
give you a little
With every
shout out.
skin one peels, another layer of time is revealed.
Yes, sir,
When
yes,
it
sir,
comes
yes,
to
sir.
Transportation, there's a lot to be discovered. Although most associate the city with its iconic yellow taxis, subways,
go.
or grand historic terminals,
I'm
there was
sorry.
a rather
Look
recent
at this.
time when New York
Daddy-O's,
City had one
look
of the world's
at
most premium
this.
streetcar networks. And today,
You know
we will
what we
unearth
could
its
do?
remains.
Actually, how
I'm
fancy
your host,
do you
Ryan
think we should
Socash,
be?
and you're watching It's History.
You know what I think we should put here? This is what we're gonna put.
The
We will
development
delete
of New
this.
York's streetcar network directly affected the rapid progress of the city, but began with extremely primitive technology. Horse cars were operated in some districts
Yeah,
of the city,
primitive, motherfucker,
with
you.
animals pulling the cars along rails, allowing riders to traverse the city and connect to railroads, ferries, and other forms of transportation. Some complained about the slow speed and the immense amount of waste left around the city by the new network. But generally,
Yo, he
this
talking
service
his
was
shit
an
right now.
effective alternative
And
for
I'm gonna be
riders
honest,
who would
I don't feel
otherwise
good about it.
experience harsh weather conditions. The expansion of the horse car lines fostered the city's development along their corridors. As the Industrial Revolution took hold, new technologies became available. Shortly after the Civil War, the cable car was introduced in many American cities, replacing many of the horse car lines. The cable car operated by attaching a car to a constantly running cable underground. To stop, the operator would detach from the cable and apply the brake.
Wait,
Cable
what?
cars were large and faster than horse cars and provided an intermediary step in the development of the streetcar. However, cable cars also had major drawbacks.
What was
They
the
were
major drawback?
expensive to operate and maintain. Also, the cable propelled them at a constant speed and therefore could be quite deadly when rounding sharp curves. Thus,
Oh,
as a
shit.
major
Wow,
form
they
of
were out here
transit in
dying.
most cities, the cable car was short-lived, soon to be replaced by a new, far more efficient technology. By the late 1800s,
was that
electric
technology?
generators and motor technology had advanced to the point where it was to be used as a power source for streetcars. In
Okay.
1888, Richmond, Virginia became the first city to successfully
Damn.
electrify a
We
streetcar
got beaten
line.
by Virginia?
The city of Brooklyn followed shortly thereafter,
Brooklyn! Gang,
electrifying
gang, gang.
the Coney Island Avenue line in 1890. Subsequently, the remaining horse car and cable car lines were replaced by this innovative, highly efficient energy source. The last cable car line in New York City ended its run in 1905. The last
Damn,
horse car
only
line ran
1905?
all the way
Fuck.
up until 1917. The new electric streetcar spread
And then we'll
rapidly
do
throughout American
something
cities,
like- where's
becoming
my
a dominant mode of urban transportation in most cities throughout the first half
Yeah,
of the 20th century.
damn,
Ultimately,
damn.
the trolley companies
Gray,
began to
say it
face a
ain't
number
Sal,
of
don't
problems.
say
Remember, this was a time of expanding automobile
Ring Gray
ownership
just likes to
and
depress me. I
increasing
get it now.
automobile
I
traffic.
understand.
Furthermore, local
I see
governments
the
were
light.
becoming increasingly hostile to trolley operators. Track repairs were often hindered by demands on local transit companies to also repair adjoining streets. Simultaneously, municipalities made additional claims on their revenue. In New York, the nickel fare was mandated
nickel
despite
fare?
inflation trends, making once profitable trolley
I was
lines
about to say
into
some OD
money-losing
shit just now.
propositions.
Thank God I didn't say that.
Of course, shortly after the city took over transit operations, the fare was raised. Perhaps
Of
the
course.
greatest factor in the demise of urban light rail was the action taken by National City Lines of purposefully undermining rail transit operations. Jointly owned by General Motors, Standard Oil, and Firestone
Why does that look
Tires, National
good?
City Lines operated under the cover of small bus companies, systematically buying up privately owned
You know what's
streetcar
crazy?
companies,
A part of
then
me wants to
replacing
bring this
streetcars
road.
with fume-spewing, inefficient
I know
buses.
it wouldn't make any sense.
Furthermore, National City Lines lobbied local governments to eliminate trolley lines as a hindrance to street traffic. National City Lines was ultimately found guilty of criminal conspiracy to destroy the American streetcar system. Unfortunately, the damage
Am
had
I
already
fucking-
been
is
done.
that too much?
By the time of the verdict,
Is that doing too
1950,
much, Dadios?
most American trolleys were gone.
Should I just get rid of
Although
that?
National
I think
City
it's doing
Lines
too much.
sought
Oh,
for the
why did
demise
that
of these
happen?
networks and made a real
I know
effort
I'm
to
high, but
entirely
that's OD.
eradicate any evidence of their existence.
Yeah, I think that's too
the
much. Let's
vastness of the
delete that.
network made them almost impossible to
Yeah,
bury.
yeah,
New
that's
York
way
City
better.
is still filled with remnants. You just need to know where to look. Most elements of the former network are hiding
Yeah.
in plain sight. Hundreds, if not
We'll
thousands,
keep that
of minor
open.
pieces such as poles, tracks, or inscriptions found on buildings.
I
There
can't
are
do
also
that.
plenty of
It-
cases of the
to be
streetcar
honest, that
network
didn't
being
look
repurposed
aesthetically
for the
pleasing
use
to
of
me.
modern-day
I
transport.
cannot see myself
However,
doing that
I'd
at
like
all.
to present you with some more magnificent
If
examples.
I do something, it
Let's
has to
start
be
with the
aesthetically
Queensboro
pleasing.
Bridge trolley terminal that was once a highly trafficked portion of the network, serving
Okay.
passengers between 1909 and 1959. There was an entire loop track and underground terminal here.
What?
Trolleys from Queens would have come down what is now a pedestrian lane on the north side of the bridge. The tracks ran straight into the portal of the terminal. Now,
All right,
a lone
this is
remaining
good.
kiosk in the bridge plaza stands near its original location. Parts are missing or broken, and it
We'll
has no
keep that
stairs
open.
within. Just a
Yes,
solid
yes. I
concrete
know about the
floor.
cable
But back
car
in the day,
that was in the
passengers
Spider-Man
would have been
movies. I
loaded
used to
and
work at
trolleys
the Bessie
exited towards
Johnson
59th
on
Street.
E60th,
The last
right by
known surviving
Serendipity.
bridge car is rotting away at the Trolley Museum in Kingston, New York. When it comes to depots, or car barns as they were known, we should visit Brooklyn, where there is a 3-story brick building which takes up an entire block between 2nd and 3rd, 58th and 98th Street in Sunset Park. This humongous building once housed countless trolley cars, but now it's
All right.
occupied by a variety of small businesses and industries.
Interesting.
This depot was built for the Brooklyn City Railroad, which was first
Let's
incorporated
do
as a horse
something-
car
Yo,
line
we
in
added-
1853.
you know what's crazy?
And later
I'm adding
by
population, but
electrified
we're still
streetcars.
losing
While many older trolley barns
I
were
cannot
demolished
figure
or
this
turned
out for
into bus depots,
shit.
this historic building, which handled lines from 2nd and 3rd Avenue, was compartmentalized for local use. Over in Queens are the ornamental remains of the
4
former
buildings
New
in?
York and Queens Railroad Company trolley barn. It was built in 1896, and the towers could be seen for miles. The railway building contained the largest car barn in Queens, and serviced trolley cars from Flushing, College Point, Jamaica, and Long Island.
Gang, gang, gang.
Ironically, the place where the streetcars were housed is now a parking lot, accommodating the same technology that made the entire streetcar industry obsolete in the first place. One building, now operated by a laundromat, still has the original company inscription in
Oh,
red.
shit.
When it comes to some of the more subtle examples of the lost network, I didn't find a cohesive or up-to-date list of the areas where tracks are still visible. In many cases, it was
This
like a
is
Google
good.
Earth Easter egg hunt, with enthusiasts reporting track sightings just a few years back that have already been covered by fresh pavement today. On the flip side, when new
This-
pavement erodes after a harsh winter, segments of the track become available for
Are you
sightings again.
serious?
Near the approach to the Grand Avenue Bridge, it was once possible to see tracks poking out not that long ago. But now,
Dude,
the
this
impressions
is
made by
fucking
the
dope.
track under the fresh pavement is all
That
that's
is
visible.
actually a vibe.
On Johnson Avenue, between Union and
That is a
Broadway, a small sliver has
vibe.
remained unpaved for decades. So you can see
Did
the
I make
former
this the
tracks
actual
for
building
trolley
itself?
line number
I did.
14, which traveled from
Okay,
Williamsburg
dude.
all the way to
We may
Canarsie
need
via
another
Johnson
park
Avenue.
maintenance building.
The
Let me
line
see
ended its service on May the 27th, 1951, and was severed from the rest of Johnson Avenue when the housing project was being constructed. Maybe the most moving sight of New York City's lost abandoned trolleys can be found on the Red Hook waterfront, tucked behind Fairway and the Beard Street warehouse. Is the
Alright, so
last
we have more
remnants
vehicles
of an
now.
attempt to bring back trolleys to Brooklyn.
I may
Renowned
have
urban
to move
explorer
this,
Bob Diamond dreamed of
or
reviving
honestly,
the Red
we
Hook
just
trolley
make another
line that
park
ran to
maintenance
the
depot
Atlantic Terminal
further
in
down
downtown Brooklyn.
south.
Diamond and his friend Georgie Costiello founded the Brooklyn Historic Railroad Association, and through it collected 17 decommissioned trolleys, sourced predominantly from Boston and
Dude,
Cleveland,
I'm
with one
liking
from
this
Oslo,
block
Norway,
right
dating
now.
back to 1897,
Also,
and
I did
another
put this
from the
building
Army
here. I
Corps
did.
of
I remember.
Engineers.
I did
The
do that.
organization also salvaged
I did,
rails
I
and
did.
constructed new
Come
tracks
on,
along
Sunset.
the Red Hook waterfront. This was possible without government support due to the cooperation of George O'Connell of the O'Connell Organization, which
So then
owns
what
and
I wanna do
operates many
here
of the
is
historic buildings in the
take this
neighborhood.
tree
For a
here,
period
take
of
that
time,
tree
a
here,
1-mile loop of trolley track
that
went from the
tree,
warehouse into
take
the Red
this,
Hook neighborhood along the
this, do
Conover
this tree
Street
here.
and Van Brunt Street.
Then what I want to
The
do
pilot was short-lived,
is
however, with the city determining that trolleys were not the
take
best
this
option for
surface.
improving transit across Red Hook. Apparently, the project ended the second day Bloomberg was in office. The rail tracks were
Fuck!
quickly removed, and
I
Diamond
speak of
lost
Bloomberg
access
very
to the
heavily
warehouse.
too. 'Cause
One
of his
trolley
Green Streets
remains, the
initiative?
3,303
Fuck,
Boston
dude.
T
Fuck,
Green
you
Line
fucking
dating
bitch.
back to 1951. It has been painted blue in the last few years, but the T logo is still visible. The trolley car now reads "No Stops" on its front place card. The doors are in rough
Aw.
shape and locked by chain and padlock. And long gone are the days when the public could enter the inside of the trolley. Now you might be wondering why a video about old random track fragments found around New York City is of any value, and I'd like to offer you my thoughts on that.
Please.
Anyone who enjoys urban exploring understands that often the most graphic exhibition of time can be found within deterioration. And whereas major forsaken places such as Pripyat, Ukraine in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, or Centralia, Pennsylvania for that matter, makes a strong, very impactful impression
gotta
on
look at
those
this
who choose
Pennsylvania
to
video.
visit or
It's
even
Centralia,
research the
Pennsylvania.
topics. I'd argue that the subtle notion of decaying track fragments in the contrast
Are we
of one
hearing
of
the
the
language
world's
used
richest
referencing
cities
this?
is more of a commentary on
Wait, did he
vulnerability.
say that? I didn't even realize
perhaps
that, to be
no
honest.
matter how grand an idea, at some point things will peak, and at some point things will fade. Only those of us who take the time to appreciate and observe little fragments of history, such as pieces of track in New York, can keep that memory alive, the zest of the time. Thank you for watching It's History. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you see our episode about the lost Chicago tunnels, subscribe, and definitely consider supporting us on Patreon.
Also, Darius, question for anybody in chat that like really watches me. Do you think I should offer a Patreon subscription for people who want to support me but don't want to go about it the Twitch route, or just don't want to sub to Twitch? And it'll be cheaper than Twitch. I'm thinking like a $2 subscription. And I'll do like a special build where everybody who subs to that Patreon is like a council member and they can dictate that build. And we'll do, if I do get subs to my Patreon, I'll do like a private stream on Discord once a week maybe, or bi-weekly. That's something I'm thinking about to make it more, you know. Also, I have to get my... I gotta get dual chat back on screen. I'm also thinking about... only reason I ask about the Patreon is because when I had Restream, it was easier for both chats to be on screen together. So, like, I didn't even see Bud's last message, and I feel like hella bad. Oh no, Maya. Legitimately, the missus is mad at me because I keep talking about it, and she's like, "Okay, then just do it, babes." And like, I'm fucking up on that. But yes, I will guarantee the Brooklyn build. And honestly, but it'll be Wolf, the babes, and then you for the greatest supporters of the Brooklyn build, and then Mayor Cheeks, aka Booty Addict. Because you guys, then Chaos Fun, and then Bearded Bruin, y'all keep me on point about the Brooklyn build. So, one, I will continue to thank you for life, for, like, one, supporting me still and, like, watching me. And then, two, remembering that, like, making me remember, like, hey, dude, you have some dope-ass shit you gotta continue. So, arigato gozaimasu. Oh, alright. New York's lowest west side elevated highway collapse. Ooh. Ooh.
When it opened for traffic on November the 13th, 1927, New York's Holland Tunnel was not only the world's very first mechanically ventilated
Wait, what's that? Fuck.
New York City is akin to an urban...
Shit! Fuck! Let me see. Elevated.
These days, the West Side Highway is a 5.5 mile long surface section of New York State Route 9A.
I'm gonna come back to detail this area
to the southern
up here.
tip of Manhattan in New York City.
This is the vibe I was trying to go for.
There was a time
Let's do an invisible network so that it connects to these points.
I'm referring to the West Side Elevated Highway. Built in the 1920s to cure New York City of its notorious Death Avenue, a street where freight trains
I know
crossed
Death
the road
Avenue.
over
We looked at
100
that
times. This once beautiful New York marvel would end up in neglect and ultimately collapse. So join me to find out why, as today we discover New York's lost West Side Elevated Highway. I'm your host Ryan Sokesh, and you're watching It's History. Let's start off at the turn of the century, when New York City was covered in dangerous street-level rail lines. The New York Central Railroad was responsible for building and operating the lines that eventually became known as the West Side Line.
Wait, where's my tree?
Included a section of a road referred to as Death Avenue. For context, the New York Railroad was a major railroad company in the northeastern United States, and its tracks ran through various parts of the city. As we've covered in previous videos, the railroad's efforts to address the safety issues on Death Avenue eventually led to the construction of elevated tracks, what we now call the High Line Park. However, securing road traffic was the city's most eminent priority, as cars could be more easily redirected than trains. Not to mention, a better traffic flow would benefit the entire city. Hence, various proposals circulated in the 1920s to build an expressway on the west side, with some of the concepts being rather futuristic. The New York Central Railroad proposed building a road/rail double-decked highway from 72nd Street to Canal Street, which would be constructed privately at no cost to the city. It would eliminate 106 grade crossings over 84 blocks. However, the idea was opposed because of fears of creating a rail monopoly. As mentioned previously, the rail lines would ultimately be elevated not far away along their own viaduct called the High Line. Then there was the 10-story train/car/office people mover idea. You see, engineer John Henkin proposed an exotic 10-story complex with the rail line underground and a road at street level, with the so-called people mover built above that, topping 10 stories of apartments and offices.
Do a pathway
the highway would run on top
then do a
of the
park
10-story
right over
buildings,
here. So let's
which
do
may
this.
have been a seriously unusual sight to behold. Apparently, the Manhattan Borough President, Julius Miller, had enough of the crazy ideas and said that something had to be done right away. He ultimately pushed through the plan for the West Side Elevated Highway, which was eventually to bear his name. As you might imagine, the proposal immediately ran into serious opposition. Many objected that it would be ugly.
Beautiful,
the City Club and New York City
Now,
Mayor
come over
James J.
here.
Walker objected to the highway because it would block waterfront-bound
we go to
freight traffic.
parks.
At the same time, West Street News remarked that New York would see, quote, a daily avalanche of
We
freight,
wanna put a
and
dog
passengers,
park
and
here,
traffic, and complained that the city would be, quote, walled by an unbroken line of bulkhead sheds and dock structures, blocking the view
playground
not
does
only
make
of the
sense.
river, but
Dual
even of the
park
ships
makes
being
more sense
serviced.
for
The
the
commerce
type of
carried
people
out in
that
those
live here,
piers and slips was vital to the city's economic health. They believed that plans should wait until the surface railroad tracks were removed, at which point the
Or
elevated
if we
highway
do
might not even be
purpose
necessary.
wall.
Even so, on
What
February
can
the
I
2nd,
do here?
1925, it was announced that the railroad would build a combined double-decker
playground
elevated
over
highway and freight railroad for $24
Actually,
million
yeah, why the fuck not
at
for
no
the
cost to
kids?
the city. The planned
Yeah,
highway would no longer go to Battery,
yeah.
instead
And
ending
then
at
I'll
Canal
still
Street,
do the trees.
meeting the Holland
So
Tunnel,
let's
which
grab
would
the
open to
trees.
traffic on November the 13th, 1927. The northern terminus was set at 72nd Street and Riverside Drive.
grab
Ramps
the
were planned at
Oak
Canal
Tree.
Street, 23rd Street, Riverside
And
Drive,
then-
and at least 2 other
yeah.
locations. The Port of New York
No,
Authority
right here.
opposed the plan, preferring a more forward-looking, comprehensive
go.
freight distribution concept. They
And then I
attacked
think
Miller
for the
as trying to
surface
push the
here,
project through without input
does
from
it
the Port
allow
Authority.
parking?
So it's important to emphasize
Maybe
here
we'll
that the
make
Port
this-
Authority
let's
wanted
do
a
this.
system of inland terminals
add
and
some
beltline
of Jay's
railroads.
pieces over
Accordingly,
here.
the Port Authority chairman of the time, Julian Gregory, was almost certain that the city would not
Not
go
a
along with
beach
the
bar,
Port Authority's
but yeah,
plan.
let's do something
Miller
like this.
responded by arguing that something had to be done right away. He said that if the Port Authority could put forward a comprehensive plan within 5 years, he would put his full support behind it. He also pointed out that this phase was only one part of his comprehensive plan for
Not
the relief
this.
of traffic congestion. He had already widened many avenues
Oh, wait,
and
that's a
removed
parking
several
spot?
midtown
Oh, fuck.
elevated railroad spurs to
Shit.
accomplish this. He said the plan would not give the New York City Railroad any rights they did not already have. It was merely a relocation
we'll
of the
leave that
existing
as open
tracks.
space then,
The
that's
tracks
fine.
had been on the surface for 55
And then I'll
years,
put more
despite
trees and
legal
bush
action
over
taken
here.
against them. And Miller claimed they would be there
Alright,
for
this is
another 50
cute,
if nothing
this
were
is
to be
cute.
done. Miller also received a letter from the New York City Railroad Vice President, Ira Place, stating that the railroad would reduce freight rates if the new elevated
Alright.
structures were built. In other words,
And then
they
over
threatened the
here,
city's livelihood.
I like
Even
the
so,
way this
Miller was
building
right,
looks.
and the elevated
Do
highway
we
would
have
soon be built.
anything?
So on
We
January
just
the
need
20th,
housing, to be honest,
1926, Borough President
Housing and
Miller
commercial.
sent a plan to the Board of Estimate for an $11 million elevated highway to be built entirely on city property. The elevated railroad was removed from the plan since the New York City Railroad had devised a separate project for partially elevating and depressing their existing railroads, now known as the High Line.
Aw.
Anyhow, according to Miller, there were questions over who would own and maintain the dual structure. There were also objections to its height of 40 feet and its placement at the east building line of the existing surface roads. The elevated highway was to connect to a planned parkway, now the Henry Hudson Parkway at 72nd Street, forming a route free from crossing traffic stretching from Canal to 129th.
Can I
The
remove
elevated
this a little
road
bit
was to
better?
be 60 feet wide, which was wide enough for 6 lanes of traffic. The existing surface road would carry local traffic beneath the highway. Ramps would be provided at Canal, Christopher Street,
Okay,
14th Street,
beautiful.
23rd Street,
And
34th
then
Street,
just connect
42nd
this
Street,
right
and
about
57th
here.
Street. Slow-moving traffic would use the left lanes
There we
due to the
go.
left-hand ramps. This contrasts with the current method of using left lanes for passing and putting ramps on the right side. It's kind of hard to imagine, but in the past, ramps were placed on whichever side of the road was more accessible.
Which
According
is
to
so
Miller,
crazy.
The highway would, quote, carry buses that will make both its convenience and beauties available to the general public. He also suggested that the road be called the Hudson River Boulevard. Then, on April the
Interesting.
24th, 1925,
I think that's
Governor
a
Al
vibe.
Smith signed a bill authorizing the construction of the highway. Funding for the $11 million highway were to be procured by property assessments along the route. This was considered reasonable due to the advantages gained from the highway by those living
There we
along the
go.
route. The highway would be built of steel with a cement face and a 3-foot sidewalk for
We
pedestrians.
can make this like a
although
little
the highway
sitting
was
plaza,
intended
that'd
mainly
be
for motor
fine.
vehicles. 2 block-long
I
ramps
could
would
put
provide
parking,
easy
to be
grades for
honest.
entering and exiting
And then,
the highway.
honestly, to be
Trucks
honest,
would be
this is
allowed,
just calling
a
for another
fact
one of
that
these
would turn out to be the literal downfall of the highway when it catastrophically collapsed decades
So if we
later.
wanted to
But
make a
more
super
on that in a
block,
moment. The
which
Board of
I'm
Estimate
not against
approved
the
the
super block,
highway,
to be
now
honest.
costing $13.5 million. On June the 14th, 1926,
Yeah, and then what we'll
this
do
roadway was
here
to be built
is-
so that a
I'm
second
actually
deck
feeling
could be
this starting
added
to build.
later for about $9 million if traffic warranted. Controller Charles W. Berry questioned the proposal until he realized that the money would come from tax assessments, so he agreed with the project. Then, on November the 10th, 1926, the Sinking Fund Commission voted to give the city title to the waterfront property along the proposed route. The highway plan was linked to a plan by the city for more piers for ocean steamships. Since the highway required land takings between 47th and 51st Street, it was easier to
There
combine
we
the
go.
projects and prevent additional expenses. So on
Dude,
February the
look at
17th,
that. Look at
1927,
that.
the Board of Estimate
And then
adopted
any
the
bare
final
wall we
plans for the
have, we
highway,
just throw some
setting a
artwork on
hearing
there.
date on March the 24th. It was split into 2 sections. Section 1 went from Canal Street to
We could do
59th
some
Street.
ads.
Section 2 was to
Let me
carry
see
the road
something.
over the
We
New
don't have
York
any
City
businesses
Railroad's
that moved in yet.
60th Street yard from 59th
No
Street,
company. What about
72nd
here?
Street. The Board
No
of Estimate
company.
approved Section 2 on
No
August the
company.
16th,
Why the fuck is
1928.
none of the
There
companies
were
moving?
complications constantly. For example,
All of
Section
this
1 was
commercial
postponed
demand
until
and no
September the
companies.
27th due to
Y'all better get
objections.
y'all life
On October the
together.
18th, that same year, the Board of Estimate
Because I would
approved
rather put the
Section 1.
company
By
building
that point,
like
the
signs over
highway
here,
was
so we'll see what
advocated
ends
by
up
most
happening
business
over there.
interests, including the Downtown League, the Fifth Avenue Association, the
Unoccupied-
West
oh,
End
come on.
Association,
Are you kidding
and
me?
11 other
No vocal
organizations.
demand.
They
What
cited
unoccupied
increasing
buildings?
traffic and the
All
need
right, we
for a
just gotta get
bypass
more
route to
engine-
support
we
the
gotta get more
highway,
big buildings
which would
out here.
cost little compared to its benefits. Miller spoke at a meeting of the Market and Businessmen's
this.
Association
Let's go
of the
medium.
Greenwich and
I'm
Chelsea
not
districts
medium.
on October the 30th, 1928,
have a medium?
detailing
Yeah,
plans
thank
for the highway. It was announced nearly 100 meat dealers in the West Washington market, as well as the Gansevoort market, would be evicted to make way for the highway. Minor changes were also adapted to the plan on January the 10th, 1929, in response to several new objections. For example, the alignment in the Chelsea district
what I wanna
was
do
slightly modified
actually-
to avoid proposed piers, and the path through the markets was realigned to pass over a corner of the property. In addition, the 14th Street ramps were moved to the areas
Yeah,
between 19th
I
and
like
23rd
that.
Street, so that they could spare many markets.
You know what's
at
crazy?
14th
There's a
Street.
part of me
In
that
addition,
wanna make
the
this a
West
tunnel.
Washington market would
I
no
may
longer
end
be
up making
demolished,
this a tunnel.
and instead, the highway would just graze the roofs
Also,
of some
Daddy,
of the
this would
stores.
be my last
All the
class of the
same,
night.
in 1929,
I wanna thank
construction
everybody for
finally
pulling
started.
up
The
and
section
chilling with
between
us.
Canal Street and West
We
72nd
actually got
Street
a
was
lot of
completed by
building done today.
1937, with a southern extension to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel completed in 1951. The west side of Manhattan was transformed, but not everyone was so happy.
I'm actually pretty
The highway
juiced.
was heavily
I
criticized
did not think
by
we would get
Thomas Adams,
so much
Regional
built
Plan
today, though.
Association director, when at the
The
meeting
demand
of the
for
Municipal
Brightwater
Art
and
Society, he
needed a
disapproved of the road's
where's that
ugliness and noise, suggesting that they should have simply cleared obstructions to the existing road surface to speed up traffic.
Hold up.
Adams
Before we
supported
leave,
a
let's make sure
comprehensive
we
regional
have-
plan for
'cause I think
development in the
Brightwater
Hudson
End is
Valley.
gonna need its
The Fine Arts
own-
Federation
That's
also
our
opposed
only
the
medical
highway,
clinic?
saying that elevated
Oh,
structures
dude,
were
we're
unsightly.
wallin'.
But the most
We're
powerful voice,
wallin'.
of course, was
Wallin'.
the famous Robert Moses. He
You would've
proposed
thought we were Nick
straightening
Cannon
the
and
West
the
Side
boys, you feel
Highway,
me?
widening both the highway and the Henry Hudson Parkway, and constructing the Lower Manhattan Expressway and Mid Manhattan Expressways, connecting
Actually,
routes
I
that would
would
have
not
stretched
mind
across
putting something
Manhattan.
like this
All these
over
projects
here.
were never built. Later in his 80s, he opposed
Maybe-
the West Side Project, but by then, his power was gone, and his ideas weren't even taken seriously.
Aha,
the West Side
bitch.
Elevated Highway
Fuck your
rapidly
ideas,
became
pussy.
an integral part of New York and was mostly uneventful for the decades of its existence. However, when the city neglected its maintenance, the term Death Avenue
do that over
reappeared,
there.
and in a major way.
Now, do we have a
By the late
police presence in this
1960s,
area
the
at
West
very
Side
least?
Elevated Highway was
What about
beginning to show
fire?
its age. In fact, there were signs of wear
That's
and
my
tear as
only
early as
fire.
the 1950s.
Oh, all right.
The constant exposure to the weather elements, including rain, snow, and temperature fluctuation, took a toll on the highway's
Let's go to
concrete surfaces. Cracks,
fire and rescue.
potholes, and areas of crumbling concrete began to appear, leading to an uneven and hazardous driving surface. The steel components used in the highway's construction were also susceptible to corrosion due to exposure to moisture and road salts used for snow and ice control.
There we
Hence,
go.
rust and deterioration of
And
steel
we'll make a
support
parking
structures
lot back
weakened
here,
the
actually.
overall
I think
integrity
that'd
of
be
the
the
roadway.
best thing to do.
To make matters worse, as the highway
Is
aged,
there a more
it
modern
required
version
more
of that
frequent
building?
and extensive maintenance to keep it operational. Repairs and maintenance activities became more frequent
Or we just
and
make this
costly,
block this
impacting
type
both
of
the
urban
budget
promenade.
and the time needed for upkeep. To be frank, the costs were simply beyond the city's capacity. To top it
It's
all
such
off,
a difference
by the
in terms of building
1960s,
right now,
the
but
West Side
we'll rock
Elevated
out.
Highway faced increased traffic
No,
volumes,
I
leading
know
to
there's like a
congestion,
modern-
longer commute times, and frustration for motorists. So, in summary, the deterioration of the roadway combined with increasing traffic volumes
Yeah, don't
raised
fuck with me,
serious safety concerns.
The fuck outta
Potholes,
here.
cracks, and uneven surfaces contributed to accidents, and the design of the highway itself didn't even meet modern standards. The road's limited capacity led to traffic bottlenecks and delays, all placing extreme pressure on this aging roadway. Something should have urgently been done. The city knew about these issues for years, and even so,
And of course
these
this can't
unchecked
fit the way I
concerns
want it to
all
fit.
came together
Fuck
on
me,
December the
bro.
15th, 1973, with a
All right, what about
catastrophic
police?
collapse. In fact, the highway was obsolete almost from the beginning. Its lanes
There's no
were considered
urban
too narrow and could
Oh,
not
it's a
correctly accommodate
Mediterranean.
trucks. Sharp S exit ramps proved hazardous, as did left-hand exit and entrance lanes that made merging dangerous.
Let's go
So
back
on
to
December the
fire.
15th, 1973,
What about
the
this?
northbound lanes between Little West 12th Street and Gansevoort Street
Yes.
collapsed under the weight of
Oh
a
my
dump truck,
God,
which
really?
was carrying over 60,000 pounds of asphalt for ongoing highway repairs. A four-door sedan followed the truck through the hole, but fortunately, neither driver was seriously injured. The next day, both directions were indefinitely closed south of 18th Street. This closed off the oldest section between Canal Street and 18th Street and the newest sections south of Canal.
No.
Because ramps south of the collapse only permitted northbound entrances and southbound exits.
No,
The
we're gonna
southernmost
find
northbound
something here.
exit was 23rd Street. In
no,
other words,
that's too-
Manhattan was gridlocked.
This
in
gives
traffic.
me the
From
warehouse
here,
vibes
there was
that
little
I
left
want.
to do. The West Side
Not
Elevated
warehouse,
Highway
but, like, it
needed
gives
to
me
be
that old
demolished
school
outright.
timey.
As the highway faced
Yeah.
structural concerns,
Oh, wait.
maintenance challenges, and clashed with
No.
evolving urban planning priorities, the decision was made to remove the elevated structure
Ooh,
altogether.
ooh.
This decision was aligned with a broader shift towards
about- yeah, how about
revitalizing
this?
urban areas,
Yes.
creating more pedestrian-friendly and
how about
community-oriented
I do-
spaces.
what's this?
The
This
demolition
road
process
goes-
involved extensive planning to ensure the safety of workers, motorists, pedestrians, and nearby buildings. Environmental considerations were also made, including the proper handling of
Yeah,
materials
we're
and
gonna
debris.
figure
Rather
that
than
out
removing the
over
roadway
here.
in a single explosive
But
event,
I have to add
the demolition
services
of the
to this
highway
neighborhood.
was carried out in
We
stages,
are
with
making
crews
some way. I
dismantling
do
the
want to
structure
finish
piece
this
by
up.
piece, starting from one end
And then I
working
have
their
to
way
add
along
in
the
some
length
more
of the
New York
road.
City style
Heavy
projects
machinery,
around this
such as
area
cranes,
over here.
bulldozers, and cutting equipment were used to remove the elevated sections.
dudes,
And once the debris
I
was
also have
finally
a car
removed,
dealership
the
I was
nearby
supposed to make
communities
1,000
enjoyed
years
a
ago.
luxury that they had long been without. That's right.
Yeah, we'll get there
Noise,
soon. We'll
traffic
get there soon.
disruptions,
That-
pollution
this
were
block is still
dramatically
fire.
reduced thanks to the roadway's closure.
This is still fire.
The removal
Let's
of the
go.
West Side Elevated
All right,
Highway
Daddios.
paved
Let me go
the way
find a
for
human to
developing
raid.
the Hudson
I am
River
about to
Park
call it a
and
night.
other projects
To
that
my YouTube
transformed the
peoples, yo,
waterfront
go looking
into a
out on
vibrant
all the views
public
today.
space,
Much love.
creating parks,
Great improvement
pedestrian
from yesterday.
pathways,
Please
and
join in
recreational areas.
on my next
This was only
stream on
possible
Wednesday.
because in January
Much,
of
much
1987,
love.
a
Let's
commission
save this
unanimously
game.
agreed to build the highway as a 6-lane urban boulevard with parkway-style medians and decorative lighting posts. There would also be 60 acres of a $100 million park on the highway's western periphery. A price
Yo,
tag
Wolf,
later
have a good night,
criticized by
Daddy-o.
Governor
Much
Cuomo
love.
as
Thank you
being
for
too
pulling up,
expensive.
bro. It's always a
In
good
the
time when you
meantime,
pull up.
the old abandoned highway was being used by squatters.
Wolf, are you
The
streaming
demolition
this
of the
weekend
West
or
Side
not?
Highway marked a turning point in urban planning in New York City, emphasizing the importance of community-oriented design and the revitalization of underutilized spaces. It
I had to
demonstrated the
yawn.
city's commitment to creating livable space and visually appealing environments for its residents. In more modern times, the West Side Highway is most recognizable for its role in the aftermath of 9/11. This was the location of that iconic flag-raising photograph and where
Was it
much of
really?
the tower ended up falling. There was also debate over whether to rebuild the damaged section of the road as a surface street or a tunnel.
Ooh.
As a master plan was developed for Ground Zero, officials called for the West Side Highway to be buried into a tunnel between
Alright,
the site
who's
and
on that
Battery
we're
Park
Oh, Cosmic
at the
is on.
mind-boggling
Okay.
expense of $1 billion.
Did Cosmic? Wait.
Goldman Sachs, which had planned to
Oh,
build
it's
its
a test
headquarters in
train.
Battery Park City, announced its intention to
Yeah,
cancel
let me
those
see.
plans because of concern
may just
about
rate
the
him. He's the
traffic
only person
patterns
playing
as well as
cities.
long-term construction disruptions. As a result, it's been suggested that this decision prompted New York Governor George Pataki to cancel the tunnel project in
Oh,
favor
wait,
of
no,
a
he's
boulevard.
playing. We're
the
rating.
boulevard was finished by 2014.
All right,
but
dude,
it
I'm
took
gonna
a lot of
upload the
planning.
saves for you and
For
everything.
example, if we go back to 2004, the police forces had mentioned concerns that the proposed One
So,
World Trade
Dadios,
Center
much
would be
love
too
as
close to the West Side
always.
Highway,
Kodiak to
and thus
Kodiak, thank
perhaps
you for
once again
rating.
vulnerable,
Wolf and Maya,
resulting
thank
in
y'all
a
for
total
jumping in.
redesign of the tower
Evil Pork
and the
Chop, I hope
relocation
you
of the
enjoyed
site
your video.
away from the highway.
Rengray, thank you for pulling up as
The
always,
last
Dadio.
original elevated
We
portion of
are
the West Side Highway
about to send
stands
that
by the
raid through.
Riverside South
Yo,
apartment
y'all have a
complex.
great night, man.
Aside from
Much
that,
love.
the city was extremely effective in removing any trace